Okay.
Oh, there it goes.
There it
All right, I see
goes.
some life.
You see some life?
Huh, I'm getting some weird green stuff though.
Some weird green stuff. Oh, I've seen that before. Hold
Is that everywhere?
on. I hope not. I think we're good. I hope we're good.
I mean, as I'm looking at it on the restream feed,
Yeah.
yeah, this
What's up, Kendra?
oh crap.
What's up,
What's up, guys?
DJ?
We're still working through some issues. I know you can like kind
Man.
of see and hear us a little bit. It looks clear now.
Yeah. I think it was just a little internet wind. You know what I mean?
Oh boy, it's one of
We
those
are
days.
we are dressed up, and it is one of those days.
Well,
Yeah.
let's get a little bit of time for some of the people who I guess might have been waiting on us to pop in before we
Yeah.
like start. But real quick, I guess we'll just go over what the hell happened. At 10:30 sharp, we
Yeah.
started leaving a little bit before that. We were ready to go. I told
Yo,
you guys
we
to look.
were ready. You know what I'm saying?
But
There
for
was
some
absolute
reason,
zero CP time.
It was like this is not a CP moment. This is a technical
oh my
moment.
god,
Yeah.
Yo, what's up,
yeah, what?
D Herms?
Yeah, thanks guys. Everyone, I'm just still waiting for everyone to just filter back in.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so
Um,
much. This has been
Blue,
funny.
just double check your capture because I'm seeing like a bunch of noise.
Noise. What you
Yeah,
mean?
like I'm getting like interference and noise like on the bottom half of the screen,
Oh yeah, I don't know.
like what the Destiny 2 stream was doing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna see what I can do, but I don't think there's a whole bunch. Kendra is talking about your cat headphones, Mr. Gamer.
Yes, thank you very much. It would be nice if I actually remembered the name of these. Hold
So
on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoyed, the intro stuff that we put together.
Yeah.
Everything was going fine until we tried to pull the actual video up, and then the entire thing just imploded. It froze the camera feeds, then it froze the the chat, then it froze my web browser, then it froze the entire
Man,
computer
it was
multiple
everything.
times. After multiple
Yeah.
restarts, it would just freeze the computer anytime I tried to go live. So we put some backup stuff, sent that stuff over to Blue, so it's streaming from his end now. So
Hey.
hopefully you guys can at the very least hear us because we're gonna just go ahead and get started with the show. It's been a
Yeah.
while already, and we're
So
super
sorry
late.
about
So
that.
really apologize about that. But that's kind of what a live show is.
It
It
be
just
like that
has potential for
sometimes.
headaches and whatnot.
Oh, and
But
by the way, accent wear headphones. But yes, go ahead, Sigma. Sorry.
so what's up, everybody? It is I Sigma, and we are back with episode 50 of the BBET Gamescast. I'm joined by Superman Jeff,
What's going on, people? It's your favorite superhero here.
as well as Mr. Gamer
Hello there.
and Blue Bones.
It's your boy. Yo, I just gotta say, I am so happy. This is my team of guys, my people behind the scenes. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so happy that we got together, that we're doing stuff like this. Technical difficulties aside, I'm super excited about this show, of course. You know what I mean? And I'm super excited that so many people are in the chat giving us love. Yes, thank you
Yes,
guys
yes,
so
we really
much.
appreciate you guys coming
This is
through.
gonna be
I
it's
know
gonna be fun.
it was tough because you had to wait a whole long while with the technical issues, but
We love that you
we're gonna
waited.
try to push forward, right? So, as we always do,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
like to get started with what we've been playing or
Hmm.
watching, etc. Does anybody want to go first?
Yeah. I'm gonna get this really quick because I know Blue had something to say about this. So as you guys may have noticed, I was actually playing quite a bit of Fallout 76.
Bro, why? How?
Okay, so and I'll tell you why. So I'm a part of a lot of different, just like a lot of different communities,
Yep.
and we were trying to figure out, okay, so like what game are we going to try to collectively play because we've already gone through like Enter the Gungeon and all the other kind of stuff. So we were like, okay, well, there's Fallout, and it was like, okay, why are we doing that again? And it's like, well, they did actually change a whole lot with the Wastelanders. So I was
Yeah, that
like,
was the most recent update, right?
Right. And I have to say, it's about 75% closer to an actual Fallout game. there
Okay.
are there are real human beings.
Hmm.
There are the similar dialogue trees that you have in Fallout 4, where your special skills will give you a better check or not. That is actually prevalent. Like, you can actually clearly see that. So I was like, okay, this isn't too bad. So I started a character about a week ago, and now it's level 17. So um, going back
What's
to
max
doing
level in
that,
that game?
250 something.
Oh, okay. So you at the
Yeah,
tip of the
So
iceberg.
you started a character over.
correct. I wanted to start like brand new, like
See what all the new features is, and okay.
exactly. And they really screw people over who won't do that, because a lot of the quests and a lot of what you can get won't proc, because you're no longer new. You're not coming out of Vault 76. Like, you already have your camp, you already have your everything. So
Hmm.
you actually have to go out and search for these quests that give you all this experience, legendary scripts, all this stuff. Like, you have to go get that, versus when you first start the game, it's just thrown at you and then you can go play.
Mm, 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 mm.
And the one last new game that I've been playing is called Grim Dawn.
Grim
It
Dawn.
Sounds
Okay.
familiar.
Grim Dawn is a Diablo-esque game on PC,
Yeah.
and there is dual classes. There is there is a star chart that you can use to level up your character. Your character can have a combination of two different classes with a pool of 8 to choose from. Um, it is it's massive. There was a deal on Steam for it. I think this game has like 5 or 7 expansions on it already.
Mm.
But
Wait, when did
yeah,
this come out?
I don't remember when it came out. This was another game that was just like recommended to me, because I like, oh, Mr. Gamer, you play Diablo. Have you ever heard of this game? So I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely basically Diablo on the PC. Like, this is like, if I could have Diablo 3 the way I have it, like, it would be Grim Dawn. It's it's fantastic. It's also realistic, and it has a targeting system with magic that I wish Final Fantasy 14 had.
Oh.
Where, yes,
Oh,
because
excuse me.
yes, because you can. So the way you cast magic
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
that game is, you have a spell that you will cast, and what happens is, you will point yourself in the direction of the next target, and you will just do that spell constantly. The cooldown will happen, but you'll just constantly be doing that spell, instead of clicking and then clicking and then clicking and then watching it go. You're just automatically doing that action that you bound it to the left or right mouse button, and whatever direction you're holding it in is the direction that you'll be doing that spell, and it will auto attack to an enemy. It's not like you're just doing it in a random area. It's like, no, there's an enemy in front of me, hit the closest enemy, and then when that enemy's gone, you're going to be hitting the enemy behind it, so on and so forth. And then I can rotate. Like, I love magic casters,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there is a magic rifle list kind of thing, where you shoot thunder bullets and ice bullets and
That's pretty
fire
cool.
bullets.
Yeah.
Like, it is really nice.
Might have to check that one out. You said that's on where can you play that game?
Steam, you
Steam.
can play that game on Steam.
All right,
Grim.
PC users.
Yep, PC users. Grim Dawn.
Okay.
If you're looking for a dungeon crawler, but you don't want to exactly play Diablo, Grim Dawn.
That
Like
might
me,
be
who
that might
doesn't
be Sigma
exactly
right
know.
there. That last part.
Hey, yeah.
Okay, is that it for what you've been playing?
Yes, that. Yep. That's the newest things that I've
You've
been
been running
playing.
through.
Everyone else has already seen the I played some Destiny 2 with Jeff not too long ago, trying to explore everything after that god awful event. I mean, we have to call it what it is. That was a
Yeah,
terrible event.
it was.
So who? Wait, were you gonna go into something you were watching?
Nope. I haven't
No.
even been watching anything. Nope.
All right. So Jeff, were you trying to go next? Talk about Destiny.
Yeah, I'll go
so we
next.
can find
So,
out.
I'll pick up from where Mr. Gamer actually left off. So we did do some Destiny.
Yeah.
After Mr. Gamer got off, I continued to do some strikes because I wanted to come across some of the new strikes. Didn't really come across any strikes I haven't done yet. So I gotta go back and look to see what strikes they actually introduced from since the Black Armory, because that's the last time I played.
Is there a
So also,
list in the game of strikes you can choose from, or do you
I'm
have to
sure I
go
can
to?
look into the in the where you can kind of look at the armor and stuff you had. There's a way to look up old quests and stuff too, so I might be able to do it that way. But it
Mhm.
might be just be easy to find one online. Something I actually recently discovered is a web app you can download called Destiny Inventory Manager, which it breaks down everything in the companion app, but to a
Mhm.
higher level. So something I
Huh.
noticed today was certain vendors will sell like powerful gear or
Okay.
gear that's at your level. Um, and in this app, they'll have like a Ingram by their name, so you know who's selling it. It also tells you what's today's flashpoint, which is the mission you get. You get a powerful piece of gear for completing it. It also tell you you be able to track your bounties and everything in this menu, all your inventory. It breaks down everything each vendor is selling, different legendaries, stats, everything. So just like a really good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds much
Companion
better
tool.
than the mobile app.
Yeah, it's actually way better than the mobile. It's like one of Mr. Gamer's spreadsheets. You know what I mean? Like if Mr. Gamer put this together, this is what that is. So I was playing
Exo.
with that. So I think my light now is like 8:30. So I'm just
Nice.
it's going. Just
What?
checking off
What?
some quests and stuff. I'm hoping to be by 900 by the end of the night tonight.
So what is max
900.
then? Because I'm seeing people are like over a
Oh,
thousand. What is
1060.
max like? 1060. Okay,
That's
that seems ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah, they've
That's
gone back and
intense.
forth with that. If you remember, Destiny used to have the light started getting higher and higher, and then they recondensed it again
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
brought it back down. But it seems they're going that way again. So,
That's
which
crazy.
it's going to be going on for a while, which makes sense, I guess, because they're talking about this is going to be going into the release of the new consoles.
Right. Yeah, they're bringing
Yeah.
Destiny 2 forward. They said
Yes.
so. Like, there's
So it's
not
going to be going
gonna
forward.
be a
Be,
Destiny 3. Yeah.
and then the thing is, if you have an Xbox Series X, you can still play with people on Xbox One.
Yeah. Now,
So I think that's
Matter
a
of fact,
real
no,
good.
they announced like all
I
like
thought it was
full
gonna be all
crossplay, right?
crossplay. Right?
No, they're hoping
Oh.
Oh, they're
in the
hoping.
future.
Okay.
Yes, but it's going to be cross-play general series wise. So like Xbox
Oh, okay. I got you.
One
So
with
it's
Xbox
still
Series X.
platform locked, but just
Yes.
generationally you can.
But they
Okay.
said hopefully in the future that they're allowing. Oh, but they do have cross
Save.
save, so I can save my
Oh.
character
That's
on
good.
a PlayStation and play from there. But
And then
I can't play with different. I can't go back and then play with an Xbox user, but I can have a save of my existing data on PlayStation off of the Bungie servers to allow me to play with
That's
the
super
same
useful.
character. Yeah,
Yeah.
which kind of helps circumvent crossplay.
I was gonna say, so does that
But
really
then you
mean?
still have to. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Does that mean that? So you've been playing on the Xbox for this long time, and you're like, you know what? I got some boys on the PlayStation. I want to go help out. Let me save my stuff. You go to PlayStation, and you got like all your DLCs and everything.
Yep.
And wow, that's
Well, that's the question I'm asking because you're saying it's the save that you can load up, but you would still have to buy the PS4 version, right? Like you don't just get the
Well,
game.
remember Destiny's free.
Destiny's free
So
right now.
Oh,
did it,
for like base one.
yes, but I don't
Yeah.
know if they. If I remember correctly, don't attack me if I'm
Okay,
wrong, but I do remember if they said if you paid for it, you have that, so you
so
don't have to
Yeah,
purchase it
I'm
multiple
looking at
times.
the chat right now. I see you guys. Van Davies, the Vantino, who is a big Destiny player,
he's
he's
running
letting us know that
this.
there's no DLC included in that. So it is, I guess, just the base game you
Oh,
have access to.
We
So
need to
yeah,
do
you'd
more
have to buy
podcasts
the
live.
DLC to do that content.
that's gonna be a little weird because let's say you have stuff that's only obtainable. Well, no, because they usually make it. You can usually obtain stuff. Yeah, because how would that work? If there's a weapon that's only available
Yeah, in
in,
a certain DLC,
yeah,
how can you
I
just
guess
run
they
over to
usually
people?
don't generally do that. You can still obtain a weapon because it's usually from like raids and Ingrams and quests.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that would work with if you don't if you own that weapon but don't own that DLC going to that game. But I guess because it's patch to include that stuff already, you just don't have the opportunity to get it because the quests aren't available unless you have the actual DLC. But
Sounds like sounds like you got some experimenting to do.
Yeah, it sounds a little complicated, and that's just because of the history of everything and them segmenting the player base and whatnot. Trying to bring
Yeah.
everything together is going to be a little bit of a headache now, I guess.
yeah. But I guess the first step is allowing it to be able to play through generations. So I guess that's the first step. We'll see how it goes from there.
Oh yeah.
Aside from Destiny, I played some Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
I
All
was
right.
work, I was working with some RoboCop. See how that went. So
How?
some combos. He's very versatile. He has a really good
I forgot
kit.
this man was in the game.
Yeah, he has a really good kit. I tried out the Wind God. When I
Fuji?
play a character, they have to. I have to feel them. They have to feel me. It has to. It has to,
Y'all,
it has to be. It has
Y'all-
to be 50 first question. I gotta ask them questions first. Like
y'all both have to swipe
what are you
right.
looking for?
You know what I
You know what I mean? Like, what can you offer me as
What can you
far
offer
as
me?
a kit? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I had those conversations, and he didn't really do it for me. But me and
Well,
Robot.
I'm glad to hear that because I really want to play that character, and I
That's
did.
the reason why I wanted to play him before you.
Such a troll.
That was my goal. So when you whip him out, and I whip him out, it was like boom.
Like
Yeah,
Fuji looks
man.
really cool to me. Like I actually used to play him a lot in MK4, which is like the only game that's the game he debuted in, and was the only game he was in since then, and he's finally back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He
yeah, I
got
was
killed,
excited about
didn't
that.
he was killed
I don't
off.
know.
I thought
I
I
don't know.
was-
There were like a million different endings in MK4, so I have no idea what actually
In
was the main
MK
story
in
that.
general, there's a million different endings.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, like it's so many things have ended. But so, question for you, Jeff. So now I've played the Terminator. Is the Terminator, like, if you were to compare the two, because I know the Terminator has one ability where essentially he can't be grabbed, super armor, just walks right up to you no matter what you do. Is anything like that? Is there anything in RoboCop's kit similar to that?
So as far as their combos go, they're very similar. Terminator is more he uses his because they both utilize a command grab into most of their into their combos. But the difference with this is they're similar as far as like okay, RoboCop has his gun, his
Mhm.
his long peacekeeper.
Yeah.
Um, Terminator has his shotgun.
Okay.
But outside of that, RoboCop has a big like military style like sniper rifle cannon.
What?
He has yeah. Wait till you
Sniper rifle cannon.
wait till he whips it out. And the way it comes in, like it comes in digitally into his hand, like do do do.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It must have lagged or something. What did it come out saying? Sound like
It's like
Jeff?
do do do.
Do do do.
In his hand like this. And it's like
So you tell me this man deconstructed an anti
Yes.
tank rifle?
Yes,
Yes,
let's do
like,
it. Crazy things
yes.
happen in
Hello.
Mortal Kombat.
yes. And he has a flamethrower. He uses the
He's a
riot
cop.
shield.
Why do cops
Yes.
need to have such lethal? You
Yeah,
know,
this is
let's
part
not
of the
even.
problem that we were
I'm
getting
telling you, his kit is really good, especially at zoning. So
That makes sense. Yeah, he has all those projectiles.
yeah, and he has the spike that goes into his hand that he uses to like.
Oh, to like jack into computers and stuff.
Oh.
He uses that as a part of his command grab.
That's
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
So here we go. The next character that they're going to release, it's just a theory, Judge Dredd.
That would fit.
He plays like him to a certain extent with the gun. Like there's one his
That's
down
what I was
B.
thinking.
He like sweeps. He doesn't do a sweep. He shoots your legs out from under you. Like that's his back. That's his back B. Like most characters.
Yeah.
Sweep. No, he's like. Yeah.
Did it.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't gotten the chance to boot it up yet because I did buy the whole package recently. Jeff
Oh wow.
talked me into it.
Yo, I don't know how he got you with that, bro.
Just
I thought.
consistent, man. That's my
It's 'cause
game.
It's because there was something very specific I wanted out of it. Like I wanted the aftermath stuff. I wanted to
And
play
I gotta
with Kingpin.
exploit that. That's how I exploit your weakness for what you wanted, and that's
Oh
how I
my
kept
goodness.
targeting that.
Oh
Because
man.
you can't get the one without the other. So
Okay.
I went like, you know what, forget it. If I want the thing I want, then I just got to buy the whole package, and it was
Right.
like $60 for the old stuff and the new stuff. So forget it. Just
My reasoning to him was, listen, bro, if you would have got the base game before, right? Think
Mhm.
about this, right?
Mhm.
Mm.
You'd have been paying the same price because you'd be buying the DLC now.
I've been paying more because the
Now,
base game when it launched within 60.
The game has been on and off sale for like $25, $30
That's
for like
true.
the last
True. Yeah,
last
that's
couple.
true.
Yeah. So the difference is you're just paying an extra 25 now as opposed to a couple months ago, which is
Fair.
more. People are weird because I'm the same way. Like I could pay 25 like a month ago and then pay 40 a week, a couple months
Because
later.
it's not immediate.
Yeah,
Or
paying
like made that money
60
back at some
at one
point. So.
exactly. So it worked. I convinced them. So
Hey,
next
that's
on
an
the list is
accomplishment.
Destiny. So we'll
Ooh,
keep
that's tough, man.
I don't know about that.
Destiny is that toxic
But
ex-girlfriend,
outside
bro.
of that, I've been watching Baki.
Nice. Yeah, I started it too. Season 3, right?
Yo.
Yeah, season 3. Don't want to go. I don't want to discuss too much of it because I'm
No.
not sure where everybody is. But Baki's been really good.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard wonderful things.
Yes, Baki's good. Baki was always like my second choice. The other one, King and Asura, are fighting
agree.
anime.
I agree with that.
And lastly would be I just been reading Tower of God, watching and reading Tower of God.
That's what's
And
up.
That's all
That's
I got.
what's up.
All
All
right.
right. What you got, Mr.
Uh,
Sigma?
Well, I haven't had the chance to play a bunch of stuff because I've
Yeah.
been really busy this weekend. In case you guys didn't know, I'm helping to host the Escapist Indie Showcase post show.
It's mad dope.
So
It is.
yeah, like there was a lot of indie game reveals. It was kind of a smaller version of E3 that the Escapist has been doing. So it was a big reveal that had all sorts of games. So now we're doing a post show over this weekend where we're sitting down with developers, we're talking, we're getting hands on with a bunch of different projects. So I just wanted to we've seen a bunch, but I just wanted to highlight the 3 or so that have really stuck out to me.
There's two
the
that
first-
stuck out to me. Hopefully they're
Yeah,
on
I
the
think I
list.
know which one you're talking about.
There's-
But, the first one is a game called Mayhem in Single Valley.
Oh,
It's got like a 2D pixel art style, but it's on a 3D map. But a
mhm.
3D map that's modeled like the top-down Legend of Zelda. So like
Yeah.
it's a really cool looking aesthetic. Like if you've ever seen The Amazing World of Gumball,
Yes.
imagine what was the space alien character Ocho, I think. Like imagine him as like the main character, but it's a kid, but like his 2D sprite in that 3D world. Like that's kind of how the game looks.
Okay.
And like the music is dope. The premise is, I think something's poisoning all the animals. So like the combat's not really combat. It's like he collects things like acorns or bugs or bananas, and depending on what animal is infected and trying to attack him, you would need to toss the corresponding food for it to like distract it and get it out of your way. So like it's more like you're dodging it and you're
Okay.
moving it out of the way. So it's a little bit like maybe stealth elements to like the enemy encounters, but it's not like
Is it
Yeah, go ahead.
pacifist encounters?
kind of, yeah. You don't really kill. Yeah, I don't think he really kills much. I think there is a weapon. There's like maybe 1 or 2 weapons. But
Yeah.
for the most part, yeah, you're like trying to avoid getting attacked by using all these different kind of puzzle-like elements, which is cool. Like it's something new.
Yeah.
So I don't really know too much about the story and the details yet, but like just the aesthetic overall won me over. Like so that's something that's on my radar that I'm keeping an eye on.
Okay.
The next game I took note of is a game called De-Leveled. Has anyone heard of
Okay.
this?
Yeah.
I have not.
No.
Essentially, it's really hard to explain too, but essentially, it's 2 blocks on opposite sides of a plane.
That
Like,
one.
yes, it's like a platformer, and when one block, well, you control both of them simultaneously, and they fall towards one another. So once they hit the ground, they transfer momentum. So if they drop from like a tall platform, once they hit each other, they bounce back up that height.
It's some crazy
then,
physics,
yes,
y'all.
it's dope physics, puzzle gameplay, and you have to really
It's gonna
use your
blow your
brain.
mind. Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking. The more you say this, the more I'm thinking Portal.
It has that same
Yeah.
energy, but the concept is like completely different.
It's
Yeah,
very minimalistic.
Okay, because when you were explaining, because like as you were talking about, like, okay, you go in and then they meet each other. All I
Mhm.
hear is GLaDOS in my head. Speedy thing go in, speedy thing go out. Like that's all.
Yeah, but,
That's all I immediately
so
hear.
think of it as Portal, but they reflect rather than you go through.
Oh,
So
okay.
like, so portals
All
are
right.
like you shoot one portal, and
Yeah.
then you can see yourself in the portal, right? But if you were
Right.
to like jump down,
Jump
that
through it.
momentum kicks you back up the same distance, and you have to
Okay.
use that to navigate like an arena and reach certain switches. And both blocks on either side have to reach the switches at the same time. So if you somehow separate them because you can get them misaligned, then you're no longer able to transfer the momentum properly, and you'll get one bouncing and then hitting the other back up like a pendulum.
A really
But
great example, um, Miss Miss Cat in the Facebook chat said it's like Pong and Portal together, and I think that's
yes,
exactly
yeah,
right.
that's a
That
really
was really
good
good.
description.
Yeah, good looking out, Cat.
Okay. All right. No. Okay. I see that, and that's actually really interesting.
By the
Okay.
So we did get a chance to actually talk with that developer. So I was asking him a bunch of questions, and the game eventually gets to the point to where the levels will rotate, or they'll have openings in like the
yeah,
plane where they meet each other,
or
so
they
that
got
you'll have to
spikes.
switch. Yeah, you have to switch which one is on which side, or where the gravity goes. Like it gets really, really complex.
Yeah,
So like I'm really like there's a demo for it now if you want to check it out. I think right now it's only on Steam. But look up Deleveled if you want to see more about it. Very minimalistic
it's
art style,
wild.
but like it's very, very deep puzzle gameplay.
Oh
So
yeah.
that looks
Okay.
really cool. And then the last one, I know Terrence was in the stream when we were talking with the
Yeah,
guest for that one, is Wave Break.
Wave Break is so yo. I cannot wait for this one, bro.
It's essentially Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Vigilante 8 a little bit, I guess, like or
Wait.
Twisted
Wait.
Metal.
Wait. No. Did you just say? No one. I've never known anyone who knows about Vigilante 8. You always talk about Twisted Metal.
Yeah, Vigilante 8 was like
Twisted
was
Metal.
the one that came to not PlayStation, so that's why I know.
Yeah. Vigilante 8 was,
Oh my
and
goodness.
it had less of the over the top characters that Twisted Metal had too. It was
Yeah.
more scaled back. Yeah.
Yeah, like Vigilante 8, Second Offense. I played that game till the disc almost broke.
We used to play it all the time.
Yeah,
We-
it was a favorite, yeah. But
So-
yeah, like so think of like that combat aspect, but with also Tony Hawk. But the aesthetic isn't skateboards or cars; it's like teddy bears in the '80s driving speedboats.
Like Miami Vice vibes, y'all. It's so cool.
Like it's a really cool, design and look. Like really great music. Apparently, it's going to be a soundtrack. Like they really emphasize like that, synth wave sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh, we got an echo coming in from
yeah, there's
somebody.
like echo coming from somebody. I don't know if it turned on a stream somewhere. But
Hello?
no, if someone on our side, that as the four of us, is watching ourselves, thanks. So essentially, it's the same as Tony Hawk. You're like grinding on things with the boat. You're like doing flips. You're going up ramps and doing kick flips and all this stuff like that.
hmm
And you're trying to outscore people, but you can also target the other people in the multiplayer and like shoot them with like rocket launchers and machine guns and
And
sniper
shotguns.
rifles, things like that. Yeah. So like it's really fun looking, really fast paced. I think up to 8 players right now, and I think they may even be looking to get that number higher because it's a Stadia game right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
It looks super fun, and there's actually a storyline to it too.
Yeah, there's
Like,
single player
there's
mode.
Cops and robbers whole thing to it, and you have to find different. I think you're the developer. The way he described it, he's like, so Sigma asked him on the stream. He said, so are these guys like criminals, or they're like, well, they're not on the right side of the law.
Let's just say they're creative entrepreneurs.
They're creative entrepreneurs.
So he was being real dodgy about that, which is funny. But yeah, like apparently they're like crime bears and like
Yeah.
they're running some kind of drug stuff. And there's a storyline where like a otter is a detective who's trying to like bring these bears down or something. So like it's really silly. But really,
I am loving all. You had me at Tony Hawk.
Oh, bro,
like,
honestly.
Let's
very
be
much so
honest.
handling
But a
Tony Hawk.
multiplayer at that, and with guns involved, yo, you got to check it out. I joined their Discord. I'm like, I have to playtest this any chance I get.
So that
Yeah.
was it in terms of games. But I did finally get a movie on my backlog watched,
Hmm.
and I finished It Chapter 2.
Oh, okay.
So the first It, well, the first remade It, the
Mm,
one that came out a couple years ago, I surprisingly was like way into. Like I really liked that movie, and I'm not a big horror watcher,
mm,
but I did learn about myself that I'm a big cosmic horror fan, and that's
right.
basically what it is. But the chapter two, where all the kids who were being terrorized by Pennywise are older, and then they have to come back to the town because he's returned to stop him finally, just really didn't do much of what the first movie did. And not to say that they needed to retread those steps, but they kind of did, but kind of fudged it all up somehow.
Hmm.
And I had
Okay.
to watch a wisecrack video on YouTube to really dig down into what the problem was, because the premise is, they come to the town, they work together, they have to confront their fears and their insecurities because that's what he preys on, and then defeat him in the end, which was what they did the first time. But the pacing in this movie was what was wrong. First of all, it was like 2.5. It was 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
So, and
That's
I think the
heavy.
first one was fairly long too. But this one, just the pacing of this movie is so bad. Like in the very beginning, you're kind of catching up with everyone
Yeah.
for like a good hour. You see like maybe 1 to 4 scary moments, but they're not that interesting because they have nothing to do with the main cast.
Nothing
Like
doing
it's like,
nothing. Yeah.
yeah, people who don't show up in the story ever again. But then once the main cast is involved, it's pretty much nonstop scares or attempts at scares for like the rest of the movie. Like
We're
it
gonna
just
get you.
doesn't really let up. Like
We're gonna get you.
you like that balance of like the low points
Yeah,
and
and
then
the
the
high
tense
points build up
moments.
the
But
tension.
it kind of just seemed like it was just scary, 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 scary. We're gonna talk a little bit action, big set piece thing, scary, 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 all the way up until the very end. And like I was still entertained because I still cared about those characters from the first movie, but I think it had a lot to do with me liking the first movie so much.
Yeah.
So if you're on the fence about watching it chapter two, I would say skip it. It doesn't really do much to really
Cool.
give you any closure to that story. But
Yeah.
that's pretty much it for what I've been playing and watching. Blue, how about you?
Okay. So real quick, everybody in the chat, we see you guys commenting, and we love it. Please keep it coming. You know what I'm saying? Your voices are not unheard. We just moving through this run of show. I want to bring it back to the Escapist post showcase and mention another game that I thought was really amazing. It was called Rift Breaker, and Rift
Oh
Breaker,
yeah, I'll check that
yeah.
off.
So this one, Mr. Gamer, you might be interested in this too because of some of the elements they mentioned. But it's basically a top-down survival mech game, and you're like on some alien planet. You're in this mech, and there's these like predators, some kind of predators out in this big forest, and they're trying to get you. That's I don't know too much of the premise, you know what I mean? But basically you have to survive out there in your mech and you build a base that helps defend you from the natural elements and whatever is going on out there.
Okay.
So you're building the base. It's kind of like and Jeff, you might like this too. It's kind of like Halo Wars with the top down strategy is of building your base and setting up your defenses and stuff. But then at the same time you just got hordes and hordes of these monsters attacking you, which is super cool. Now the thing that I'm the most excited about is the mixed play capabilities that they were talking about. So they have where you're streaming, you can have your viewers either help or hurt you throughout
Oh,
these attacks. Yeah,
okay. I'm in. I'm
right?
in. You said enough. Like
Yeah,
for those for everyone who's like just jumping on, I've been streaming Killing Floor 2 a whole lot, and
yeah,
that is a feature that I absolutely love.
it's pretty great.
Is that interactive capability? So okay, so what you're talking about, is it similar to Killing Floor in the sense that there are waves and there's a timer and you know when it's happening?
I don't know.
Or
I don't
okay,
know yet.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I also joined their Discord. I want to get involved in some of the beta work for that too. So I'm talking to the developers. I'm like, all right, this is really cool. I want to check that out. Check that out. But as far
There
as
were a
what,
couple of games that were like taking advantage of that Twitch and Mixer integration stuff. So like
yeah,
I think we're gonna see a lot more of that
I'm
coming down
hoping
the
that.
pipe.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
I'm gonna
But
like
as as far as what I've been playing some Animal Crossing. The lady finally got a Switch, so we're setting up her new island now and kind of moving. It was like moving day yesterday. We got all her old stuff and we still working on it, but that's a lot of fun. You can see on the background right here. This is me and the boo cakes. Um,
That's a nice picture, actually. Like,
thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, I was really happy about that one. Oh, she gave me
and then she
hearts
goes
in
to
the
the chat throwing
chat. I
hearts.
see you, boo. Love you. So yeah, we've been playing some Animal Crossing, but I've been gushing over Fire Emblem
Fire
Three
Emblem Three
Houses.
Houses.
Oh
Goodness
boy.
gracious, I
I told
love
you,
that
man.
game.
I told you, like
You did.
it crept up past Final Fantasy Tactics for
It's
me.
got to. Yeah. The characters are every character is way too interesting. Every character, and I already know I'm gonna play this game at least 2 3 times. At least.
Yeah, see that I can't do because it is very long.
But the
Like
thing
it
is,
just
and
takes
I'm
so much
learning,
time.
right? I'm learning that there's a new game plus. So your next playthroughs, one, you're gonna be skipping a lot of conversations that you've already seen, right?
Mhm.
Two, all the characters that you have made your classmates before, they're easier to reobtain in your next playthrough in different houses and stuff like that. Bro,
Ah,
I am
See,
super excited.
you had told me this game had a similar element to Persona.
Yeah, so Persona 5, the one of the elements of it is you have to manage your day to day, all the events that you do to prep for a battle at the end of the week or month. I'm not exactly sure on the time period with that, but in
Yeah. Hmm.
Fire Emblem Three Houses, it's at the end of the month. You have some big battle that you're looking forward to. So typically, you got about 3 or 4 weeks, depending on where the months fall, um, to prep for that. So you're training up your students, you're building relationships with them, you're motivating them, um, and you're training and building up yourself as well.
yeah, like
Um,
you can take seminars with certain people if you want to build up specific skills. And
yeah,
another thing that I thought was so cool is that the skills that you're good at
you
allow you to teach other
better.
people in your class better.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like if you're a really good swordsman, all the swordsmen in your class will benefit from you teaching them swordsmanship.
exactly,
Makes sense.
exactly.
I mean, you can't have a crappy swordsman teaching people
Right.
and they come out as a master. I mean,
And it's like this dude right here. The thing is, right? You there's a time skip, right? Okay, you heard it. There's a time skip.
Yeah, I don't think
Afterwards,
that was like a secret though.
yeah, but afterwards, obviously, your students grow up. I'm not gonna tell
Okay.
you how long it is, but they grow up and they're a little bit more advanced in the path that you set them to, because you set their goals too as their class goals and stuff like that. So like they're struggling with something like, you know what, I really want to get into this, even though my family says I should do this, and you say, hey, go with your family, do your job, or hey, be what you want to be. After
Yeah,
the
like
time
and
skip, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was like, because sometimes they'll come to you even if you have them going down a certain path. They'll be like, "Hey, I really think I want to do this," and you
Yeah,
can be like, "No, that's a bad idea. I
yeah,
want you to do this."
no, don't do that. But it's cool. So the time skip happens. They go further down that tree, and what's cool is, I'm not gonna give any details on what happens, but because they're older and they're further down, they now can teach you more skills, which is
So it
it's
the
nuts.
student
Yeah,
becomes the
the
master.
stud the yeah, the students become the master, and it's really cool just growing up with these kids. I am so involved in this story, and the tactics are very intense as well when it comes down to it. There's a lot to manage. Just kind of, and one of my favorite elements, and I'm gonna end with this. Um, I love Star Wars. I love the Clone Wars, and I loved Ahsoka's relationship with her troops. That is kind of simulated here in Fire Emblem when you assign battalions to every officer. And these
Mhm.
battalions have different specialties, they have different powers, different buffs, and they have to grow that relationship with their troops to be more effective on the battlefield. Like, this game is
It's
great.
cool. It's really cool.
It's really
I've
cool.
been
It's a
loving
lot darker than I expected. A lot darker than I expected. There's some craziness that goes
it.
down.
There's like so many secrets. Like if you don't talk to these characters, because you have that option to kind of
Yeah.
ignore a lot of the conversations,
Hmm.
there's information that's hidden that you just don't know. So then, like, you'll see certain situations and not understand the context of them.
I'll give you a small example, right? I was talking to some generic soldier before something was getting ready to happen, and they said, "Hey, the town down the road, it's getting a lot of people. It's getting really busy for some reason." And a couple people mentioned that throughout the monastery where the main game happens. Tell me why you find out later in that month that it was actually an army from somewhere else secretly getting their soldiers closer to invade. So it's like it's little elements like that that are really cool because like I'm doing this and I'm going through the cutscene. And they're like, yeah, they were dressed up as merchants and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
there
oh
are certain
wait,
characters who know what's happening
yeah,
there, and if
yeah,
you're not close with them, you just don't have the
you're
context.
not gonna know. And that's why playing it again is gonna be so much fun. That's why I'm
So
excited to play it two, three more times.
I might I might be getting this.
It's dope, man. It's a lot of fun. You're gonna love them kids. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I got for the most part, and I don't think we need to waste more time on that.
all right. So first off, we're gonna skip our Super Smash Sunday recap. Again, I know it's like the third week in a row that we're skipping it. We have not forgotten you guys who are
No.
faithfully joining us every Sunday playing Super Smash Sunday. We will be having it again later today as well.
Yep.
But in lieu of that, we're gonna go over our giveaway plans for this stream.
Yeah. So, who's ready for some giveaways? Let's hear it in the chat. This is your time to say something in the chat if you want, trying to get this free stuff. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hype. Yeah.
Get that hype. So basically, what's gonna happen is, you guys, if you want one of these 3 gift cards that we're gonna be giving out, they're gonna be digital. All you got to do is send an email to BBETGaming@gmail.com. I got it. I practiced for this. BBETgaming@gmail.com. Put in the subject line, episode. What did we say it was? Oh, episode 50. Yeah, live. Episode 50 live. Episode 50 live. You email BBETgaming@gmail.com. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Send us an email. Say, hey, I want to enter into the giveaway. And by the end of this podcast, we're gonna choose 3 winners. The first prize is gonna be a $50 gift card to the gaming platform of your choice. So we're talking PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. Thank you, Jeff, for helping me count those out, man. Because this is this is different when it's live, bro. So yeah, any gaming platform you want. $50 is going to be the grand prize. 20 is going to be your second prize.
Yeah, the second and third as well, right?
And 10 is going to be third prize. So definitely get those emails in. Make sure you hit subscribe on our YouTube, por favor. And just heads up, we hit 101 subscribers today. Finally, got it.
Cross that threshold. And the reason why that was so important for us to get to 100 because it means that we can now say go to youtube.com/BBETGaming to all sorts of runic symbols and nonsense on the YouTube link. So thanks so much for everyone who contributed to that.
Yeah.
We need to get that number higher anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She just said that's me. I'm 101.
Hey, she is mad helpful today. Yo, we gonna talk to you, Kat.
Enter that giveaway. We'll remind you guys over the course of the rest of the show.
Yeah.
To do that, just email us. Subject line episode 50 live. We'll draw out of a hat and we'll let you know who the winners are after the fact. So good luck with that.
Yep.
But on now into our regular topics. First up, HBO Max finally released some time ago, right? So
bro, it's cool.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff on. That's where I actually watched it.
Oh.
However, something that was kind of exciting was that there's a new Looney Tunes show that premiered.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But one thing that's a little controversial is the fact that all these characters that you grew up with, they're kind of erasing the gunplay from any of their stories. So Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam, these characters are notorious hunters and cowboys and whatnot. They're not going to deal with them anymore, or at least not deal with that aspect of their characters where they have to, have violence or situations that involve guns.
Guns specifically, yeah.
So, I mean, what's you guys' take on that kind of a change to this kind of classic formula? Like, it is a new cartoon, but it's based in nostalgia, right?
Yeah, and I think that things need to change if we're gonna
Yeah.
change.
I mean, I feel like
You agree?
Tiny Toons was similar, but they didn't use those same tropes. I can't
Tiny
remember
Toons.
a character that dealt with,
Think
you
of a
know,
gun
guns
wheel.
or anything. Yeah, there's a more, you had a, quick little quirks or comments or uh, trying to play to like '90s themed comedy that was going on at the time. But I think it was, and that's what made Looney Tunes appeal more to the current generation was, I mean, Tiny Toons was
Mhm.
Mm.
because it was fresh. It was more up to date as opposed to
That makes
Looney
sense.
Tunes, which was like from the '60s and
Yeah.
'70s, and yeah,
I'll be
So
honest. I didn't really get into Looney Tunes that much until I was actually older. You know what I mean? Like, because I would watch it all the time as like a younger kid, but like I wouldn't laugh at it. Like I would
bro,
just watch it because it was
like
like a
this
thing.
year.
You mean
You
this
mean
I,
year?
like this year? You just started watching Looney Tunes?
No, I mean like when I was like probably like a teenager
he
or
said, you
young
know that
adult.
character Bugs something, Bugs Bunny. You know that guy? He's funny.
I
I
mean, what about like you guys like have like nostalgia for it?
oh
Like you like
yeah,
love it?
I
I
grew up on
do,
Looney Tunes.
and I have to say, I don't see the point of removing the guns.
Okay.
I understand the statement of it. It needs to change with the times. I understand that. When I think of Looney Tunes back then, I never saw the guns as anything necessarily dangerous because, for example, whenever I think of Elmer Fudd with his, typical like hunting shotgun shooting at
Musket.
yeah, like his musket shooting at, like, for example, Daffy Duck. It was always an explosion of something, right? Like there was no projectile or anything like that. And even with like Yosemite Sam, when he had his revolvers, it was always so ridiculously comical. And then even the article states we're going to get rid of the guns, but all the other cartoony violence, the Acme stuff, the anvils, the TNT, we'll keep all of that, but just get rid of the guns. And because I don't see the point in, I just don't understand why removing the guns is useful
I get what you
So the way, Jeff, do you have something to say on this before I go
No,
back?
no, I was gonna say just like because what are Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner gonna do? If they're kind of just gearing towards violence, because that was the whole thing. You get a new weapon from Acme or a new trap and try to catch him. So
Yeah.
if they took that aspect out of it to be less violent, what are they gonna do? Sit down and have tea or play a match of Quidditch or what's gonna happen?
The way I look at it, right, and I think Gamer said something that's key. He said that back in the day when he was watching this, he never thought of it as anything crazy, right? But that was back in the day. Okay. Today, these younger kids are seeing people getting shot in real life and then they're watching cartoons, right? So the way I look at it, the less guns we have around, the better. Because if they're beating each other with the baseball bat, right off, like you have a lot more ways to survive a baseball bat attack than a gunshot. That's the way I look at it.
but
So so while at the end of the day they still have violence, I get that, right? And it's all supposed to be comical. I say why not take out the guns, especially in a climate that's so where guns are so deadly right now. I don't think it
Mm,
hurts, especially if they have good storytelling as well.
go ahead, Gabriel, because it looks like you got something you really want to rebut there.
it I when I hear that argument, I hear it's the responsibility of that specific piece of media to teach, or it's the responsibility of that piece of media for whatever it is, however it is that I interpret it, versus
But it
some
does teach.
well, hold on.
Okay.
But to not, but there still has to be some other filter, some other layer of explanation there, because okay, so So the point. So going back to this, they want to remove. They're just removing the guns. They're keeping all of the TNT and
Yeah.
all the other cartoony violence. They're
Hmm.
still keeping all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not about the violence per se. It's
Yeah.
about
The gun specifically.
The gun specifically. I got that. Is under that same line of logic, should all of the racist things from the Acme cartoons in general just be removed as well? Or
Um,
should that be kept there as a reminder of how things were?
What do you mean historically?
You
Yes.
sound like
Remember, they
you
had
sound
to
like folks that are like
right?
vetting for the Confederate flag, bro. Like, well, but that's
No,
no. You're saying keep it as a
hold on a second.
reminder.
Hold on a second. Because that's not fair, Blue.
No, but you're talking about
No,
bad.
I get what he's trying to say. He's saying because there is a history there of the wrongdoings, rather than erasing it as
Yeah.
if it hasn't happened before. Leave it there as an archive in that version of it. But I feel like there's a difference here because this isn't. They're not taking guns out of all the Looney Tunes shows
Not the old
that
ones.
have.
Right.
This is the new show where they're saying we're
Moving
leaving that
forward.
in the past, and everything we do going forward will not have anything to do with guns.
Is going to
I
be
feel like it's a
updated.
situation.
I
Because
feel
this is
like-
a different show.
I feel like they should have just did it and not announced it because I feel like now they're trying to just use it as
Yeah.
hey, this is what we're doing to be progressive.
You
as
right.
opposed to just
Right.
taking it without the
You
guns
right.
as a
Jeff,
artistic
you better tell him, bro.
I agree with Jeff 500%.
They didn't have to
on
say
that.
nothing. They should have just done it.
They could've just-
And honestly, people probably wouldn't have even noticed until like years
They
into
went,
it.
ain't no guns in here. Where the guns go? I was looking
Right.
for them.
That's why.
Like,
But that's
they have acne size now. I didn't know that.
and that's kind of a testament to my point. Actually, if it's still good storytelling, you're not gonna miss it.
Yeah. So clearly, they were trying to make a statement, like Jeff
Yeah.
mentioned.
Yeah.
And honestly, that works. They want maybe a little bit more advertising. Like, let's come out with this.
Because now
this
I'm
big
gonna check it
political-
out to watch it.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, I'm either gonna boycott it because I love guns so much, I sleep in a bed with a gun or whatever, or you're gonna be on the opposite side and be like, yes, good on you, Looney Tunes. Now I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna subscribe to HBO Max. So either way, you're getting it in the press.
No
And-
press is bad press.
And you know what?
Okay.
At least it's not the new Looney Tunes show. That show is terrible.
No,
I
that show
liked
was
it.
good.
I liked it.
That show was really good.
The one with the ninjas?
It was
Sitcom
different.
version,
It was
Oh my God,
like
that
a
show was
sitcom
good.
version. Yeah, that was funny.
that show was really good.
That
I
show
think
was
it a
funny.
chance.
Are we talking about the one when they were superheroes?
No.
Nah,
It was-
they like all live next to each other in a cul-de-sac.
It was like Bugs,
Oh,
Bugs
yeah.
and Al were, like roommates, and like Lola was like a crazy ex-girlfriend to Bugs. And
Yeah.
stuff. It was like weird sitcom scenarios, but with Looney Tune characters. Like,
Bugs was like
brilliant.
mad douchey. Yeah, it was funny though.
That show was really good, man.
Maybe I'll give it another chance, but I was
Yeah.
like,
I liked it.
We'll leave that where it lays. We're gonna
Yeah.
move on to our next topic. Blue, what you got for us? in
Okay,
the business
so
section?
I had to reread this article multiple times. But I got it now. AT&T, there's talks that AT&T is going to be selling the Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment Gaming division. Right? Now, there's a couple of people that have already expressed interest in buying that. But before we get into that, right, they're talking about $4 billion for this division. All right?
Right.
Now, Warner Brothers Interactive, they got the Harry Potter games, they got the Game of Thrones games, the Lego Movie game, Scribblenauts, and especially the one that we were talking about, Mortal Kombat. That's probably one.
Don't
of their...
forget Rocksteady, the people who made the Batman Arkham games.
Right. Yep. That too. So this whole division is getting ready to get sold. Supposedly, these are but it's as much as a rumor where CNBC is actually reporting on this. So, but they couldn't say.
No, Batman also picked up the story too.
Oh yeah. So it's not just a couple people talking about this. Now you got Take-Two Interactive Software, you got EA, and you got Activision. They have all expressed interest in the past to buying WB. So now this is the thing: who's gonna get it, and what they gonna do with it? That's the
So
question.
my thing is too. They also get the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor series.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Injustice, the whole
Yeah.
Injustice series as well. So
Hmm.
um, I just hope it whoever buys it, it doesn't become an exclusive to just one system. Um, so that's my concern because if let's say PlayStation, let's just say they pick it up and now you got Mortal Kombat
Only on PlayStation.
only on PlayStation.
Whew.
I mean, they did that with Street Fighter.
Well, that
They
was
did
No.
that.
more. That was
Yeah, that was
honestly
more
that's
Capcom.
Capcom allowed them to give it, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like it's
No.
traditionally been a multi-platform game. You sell more when you're on more platforms. It's just so I don't know how much money Sony forked over for that, but they kind of got burned because Street Fighter Five was not a great game. It took a while for that to actually be good.
Yeah, a long
But yeah,
time actually.
I was thinking that too because the one of the studios who has the most to gain from an acquisition like this would be not necessarily Sony because they have a very strong first-party stable, which we'll get into later,
But
but it's
anybody,
Microsoft
I was gonna say,
who
not Microsoft is gonna be wanting to get this ASAP.
yeah, like Microsoft has kind of still the money to burn. They've been looking for studios. WB Interactive Entertainment has a lot of high profile titles, you
Oh
know?
yeah.
So that would instantly kind of boost their library if they were to make it exclusive. But honestly, I don't think that that would happen because Microsoft hasn't been the kind to take a franchise that has been known to be multi-platform and then lock it away. Like they're moving towards
Yeah.
like they've done this with Minecraft where they let it stay everywhere it was. And that's a massive franchise, mind you. Like they're better off letting other people play it and
Yeah.
then they just reap the benefits. So if they
Mhm.
did happen to buy them, I think they may still be allowed to release those specific franchises everywhere they want to, and then maybe something new would be exclusive to Microsoft.
We hope so.
But I mean, if
You
someone like
know.
Activision with them, who is a third-party developer, they put everything everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you still see that as a bad thing? Activision does have a lot of money, and they are, as of late, kind of lacking in the variety department. They have like Call of Duty,
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Like they published Sekiro, but that's a From Software game. They don't own the rights to it.
Yeah.
Like what else does Activision have right now? A lot of their stuff is faltered. Same with EA. A lot of their stuff isn't as high profile as it used, but they have a lot of money under their belt thanks to the sports stuff. So if they were to have it under control, what would happen to them?
And you know what? I don't want to leave out Take Two out
True.
of the running because Take Two has some really good stuff under their belt as well. You know what I mean? They had 2K, I think it was,
2K franchise,
and
Bioshock,
Rockstar.
yeah,
Yep.
Rockstar Games, Take Two.
Like, imagine what Rockstar could do with some of these titles. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's the thing. Like they're not taking the IPs; they're taking the entire division. So the
Right.
studios would still exist. Like NetherRealm, who makes Mortal Kombat and Injustice, would still exist. They'd still be together. Rocksteady
Right.
would still be together. So they would just have a new boss. So
Right.
it's not like two studios would take over the franchises. But then again, anything could happen. If someone buys it, maybe they decide we don't want you people. We want you to turn into another thing. Like you don't know. Like it is
There's
nebulous.
all kinds of
So-
stuff that can happen, and just like what someone said in the chat, it is a little reminiscent of the Disney Fox acquisition. And a lot of what happened with that is when a lot of executives got moved around after the acquisition went through. I know that from some personal stories that I've heard. Some people got fired, some people got hired, and it happens.
Well, in the event that 2K does get it, I think the next thing we will probably get will be GTA 5 on our cell phones because I think that's the only place it's not at this point. Like that, that's the next direction.
I
Right?
guess
Like,
with can't
that
you
just
with
makes
Project X Cloud you can use it on your phone technically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that. You're saying it as a joke, but they're
It's
kind
already
of
there.
already on.
like, come on. It's going to be everywhere, and
Yeah.
everywhere is going to be GTA 5. Forget GTA 6. It's just going to be GTA 5 remastered.
There you go. All
And so
right.
we'll continue seeing how that situation develops. We're going to move on now into our next topic. Jeff, what do you got for us in the
So,
comic world? Or not
Recently, we
comics,
had
let's
the
say.
PlayStation games pretty cast, pretty much, where they introduced a bunch of their games that are coming out for the PS5. So we saw games like Godfall. We saw the introduction of what became a very confusing issue was whether or not the new Miles Morales game was an actual game or DLC.
It was a
Right.
separate game. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we did get some clarification on that because we did find out it is an actual standalone game, kind of reminiscent of the whole infamous
Black
Boom.
Flight.
with the neon lights.
Black Flight.
Yes. So that was a separate game, but it was a smaller game, kind of like Dishonored 2 just had the was it the Death of the Outsider or something like that with
Yeah,
the
like those
black
kind of
protagonist. Yes.
like
So it's
standalone
very
experience.
yeah, very reminiscent of those types where it's a smaller game, which is a continuation of the base game, but is in fact a whole separate game.
I think I'm gonna
PS5.
buy that.
For
Well,
PS5, yes.
is it 5 and 4 or just 5?
They
It
didn't
seems like
say.
it's just. I think people were asking that question,
I
but it
thought
seems
it
like
was
it's just
4 and 5. That's wow.
because
That is
every
pretty wild.
because think about that. Like you're trying to push the new console
Oh, I get
with
why
all
it
these,
would make sense to do that.
but here's like part of the issue, right?
What you
Because
got?
when it showed up in that trailer, my mind was blown. I was like, "Oh, awesome! Miles Morales is the star of the next Spider-Man game. Like, dope.
Yeah,
Like I want to buy that
same
ASAP."
here. Yeah.
Then you get this news that it's not like a full sequel, and it kind of takes the wind out of the sails of the announcement, right? And I saw an article, I wish I could remember where, but it was kind of complaining how like black led games or black characters in general are always the side story,
Mm.
and
Okay.
not to like kind of jump on that bandwagon because I mean there are definite arguments against that,
Yeah, for sure.
but in a sense, it's like okay, you needed something big from that developer in a short amount of time to kind of show off the PS5. Spider-Man is a good choice to do that. Why relegate Miles to that smaller story? You
Yeah,
could have
and
done
he's
that
such a
with
big character, bro.
yeah, he's an amazingly popular character, and I feel like I don't know, maybe their heads just weren't there. They're like, okay, let's use this super big or important character to a lot of players and put him in just this smaller thing that will likely be forgotten as because a lot of the launch games for most consoles don't kind of stand the test of time. You know what I mean? It's very rare that one is like just
GTA
known as
5.
one of the best. No, that doesn't even count because GTA 5 launched on the previous generation.
No, I,
What
I
about
was I was making a joke.
Right? Son of Rome. Like that was one of the Xbox launch
Oh
games.
yeah, that Rome game.
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
just
Like, oh,
disappointed.
what do you remember?
No, I remember the front of the case. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's about as much as I remember of that game. But we have often criticized how Sony has been releasing information
Yeah.
and how Sony has been basically we've been not hypercritical, but a bit critical of how they go about their business practices. And I think that it was a huge punch in the gut to be like, yeah, Miles Morales. Oh, but it's not a full. Oh, well, I mean, then okay,
Yeah.
sort of. It kind of just turned into an okay sort of thing because why are we just getting this little what? Because here's the thing. All of us, I think I can successfully say, were hyped to the nth degree and would
Yeah.
just we would throw our money at that.
We
So
were all talking in the Discord, just like,
we were
oh my
watching all
goodness,
the-
oh my god, yeah. I was losing my mind. This keyboard was loud as heck.
so like why wouldn't you give give us the full thing? Like you know what you have in your hand. You
Mhm.
know what you can do with this. It's and especially given the current state of affairs of the world,
Mhm.
seeing representation like that is really, really important.
Yep.
It means a whole lot to a lot of people. And I'm not talking about like, 30-year-olds. I'm talking about the kids.
That are
I'm
staying home because of the quarantine, playing video games all day.
right?
So
Like
what?
I'm talking about I'm talking about them like let them see because yes, they've seen Spider-Man, they've seen Peter Parker, they've seen all that. Let them see and fight Spider-Man's villains like I fought Spider-Man's villains when I was younger, but as Miles Morales. Like give them that.
I hear you.
Give them that, and I will throw my money at you so hard it'll cause a concussion.
So this is, I'm always
Going
trying to
on.
look on the flip side or see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm trying to look for a positive, right? Um, this is a possibility. What if this little DLC is just like a prequel to Spider-Man 2 starring Miles Morales?
Honestly, I feel like this makes that less likely now.
Yeah, I know. I was just hoping.
Because Spider-Man sold so well. Like,
Yeah.
it did so freaking well and was reviewed so well. Like, people loved that game. Insomniac was acquired by Sony as a first-party studio, so they're in the camp. They have the backing to do whatever they need to do for Sony. Of course, it's going to get a sequel. Like, come on, they'd be stupid not to.
Yeah, yeah.
But because they were in this time crunch of trying to get content out for
They
this new
shortchanged
console to
it.
make for itself, they went, we need a quick thing. Let's put Miles on it because he's either popular or he's something we can do to buy time before our next thing that's going to have the real star, which is White Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
What
Like,
about if?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, finish
No,
your
I'm
point.
done.
Oh, so what if the next one, right? And just hear me out, is a multiplayer game where there's a co-op aspect. Now, let's just say you can play as either one in the single player story, and depending on who you're playing as, is how the story kind of unfolds. But maybe them introducing him now, I'm not saying it is, so I don't want no blowback when it doesn't happen. But let's say the next one introduces a co-op aspect to the game.
Where
actually
like the Spider-Verses collide and you can play with your friends
That's not
as
a
different
bad idea at
Spider-Man.
all. I think that's actually cool.
Yeah.
That's what this should have been then.
Yeah.
Because again, all that does is rob Miles Morales of the spotlight.
Of the spotlight.
Even in the spotlight, as amazing as that movie was,
Yeah.
he was the star of it. It still included regular Spider-Man, white adult Peter Parker,
Yeah.
and then it also threw with Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham,
Mhm.
Spider-Man Noir. Like, it wasn't just his show. It wasn't just his movie, you know? Like,
And a
it
lot
was
of it
all
wasn't
these
really
Spider-
about him. It was him living up to the old Spider-Man kind
You
of
know?
deal. Yeah.
And then him getting his solo game being kind of this shorter thing. And then if they do a new one and it's like, okay, now you can play with all these Spider-Man again, it's like, why can't this guy be the focus? Like, it's like you're saying you don't have confidence in him just leading a
Yeah.
full-scale game.
And have you seen
So-
this man's fade? He's got all the confidence in the world,
Right?
bro.
Went to the barbershop for this.
Okay.
On the
So
quarantine room in New York.
Yo, he
Okay.
looks so good. Oh my
Alright, so
goodness, the drip.
I-
Go ahead.
the chat has been blowing up. We have been-
I love it. I love it. I'm reading
we
you.
have been talking about.
I
we have
see
been
y'all.
I feel
talking
a
about-
lot of them probably feel the same way.
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah, they definitely do.
And yes, I feel that. I feel everything you guys are saying, and it's like I really do need to go wherever Miles Morales went to look like that. Like let me like
Someone
like,
mentioned our
yo,
haircuts earlier,
Yeah, my
or
no,
lack
yeah.
thereof.
Now-
Yeah, Press
To
Love
case-
is saying y'all need hair. Does Jeff still need a haircut? Like, does Jeff still
Maybe just a little beard trim.
Beard trip. Jeff, you were gonna say something about the Spider-Man situation. What's
So-
up?
To Casey's point, so let's say, so you're saying that's like a constellation prize. Let's say with I think I mentioned this before with the whole Tony Stark, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, him
Mhm.
snapping his fingers. That might be a way that they're going to introduce mutants into the cinematic universe.
Okay.
So let's say that snapping of the finger also caused a ripple effect where not only did Peter get bit by a spider, but somebody else got bit, and they introduced Miles to the Marvel
MCU.
Cinematic Universe.
Ooh.
Now, would that feel like a consolation prize, or would that feel like
Like he's introduced in the next Spider-Man
Films.
Tom Holland movie? Is he introduced in the next like Avengers movie, or does he get his own movie?
the way I would play it is he gets his own movie, and then maybe they meet.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that's
like,
how I would want
let's-
to.
Yeah, like
Let's
his,
just say
his origin
a
story and
tale,
they-
a tale of two spiders. Boom, there you go.
Then Jeff, the contracts Marvel, he's gonna be gold.
Oh man.
Okay, but to keep things flowing, we're gonna move into our next topic, and it has a
Yeah.
lot to do with Sony's handling of the Spider-Man reveal because they revealed a bunch of stuff
Oh yeah.
in their Future of Gaming event that this reveal came out of, right? So I have to say, I was personally blown away.
Yeah. Me too. I
Like
was.
Sony came swinging in terms of just announcements for just games.
They said they was going to announce games, and they announced games. They didn't do any kind of pageantry. You had like maybe a couple. There was like one athlete there that was like a celebrity, but
Yeah,
everybody else.
there were like maybe 2 or 3 duds.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I
So
personally
let's.
did not like anything they showed for Gran Turismo. Like that franchise has been super boring forever. And like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
showing up, it didn't even look graphically intensive to me. That Bugsnax game was like super weird.
That was very weird. I did want to say I was a little upset. There was two brothers on the screen, and the stream paused, and these
Yes.
guys only said about half a sentence each, right? Because it was like reading off of each other. It paused, and then it skipped to the game that they was talking about, so we
Yeah,
had no
like they had a
context.
technical issue as soon as like the 2 black dudes showed up.
The next brother on the screen was this athlete who looked like he was
No,
reading the paper like this, um, and that was
that was
rough.
pain. That was painful.
Yeah, it was heavy, bro. But all that aside, just like Sigma said, I was also blown away. Honestly, when I first watched this, I was like, I'm getting a PS5 ASAP, and then doing some research, I'm like, well, let me slow down a little bit
Also,
because
like let's talk about that though. Like, what are some
yeah.
of the games in the reveal that jumped out at you guys?
May I please start?
Go ahead, bro.
Okay, go right ahead. What do you say?
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank look
They
gorgeous.
actually did. Didn't you like predict this or at least like wish for this like a couple episodes
They
back?
did. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I did, and they did it. They actually, no, you don't understand. You don't understand.
Explain it to us so that we can understand.
Where?
I thought he had a
from
chart,
what
y'all.
Right, we have to pull out a bullet pointed list.
I thought he said, well, as you can see.
Okay, no. So from my research,
Yeah.
this particular Ratchet and Clank game
Mhm.
does not continue after the events of the game on the PS4.
Okay.
Movie tie in.
Yep, it has nothing to do with that. It continues from the adventures of Ratchet and Clank going against Dr. Nefarious. And that's all I wanted. I wanted my badass Lombax back.
Yeah.
And they gave it to me. And I was right there with Blue. The moment I saw that wrench and I saw Clank, I'm like, okay, what's the price? What am I spending my money for? Let's go. Like, come on. And then when I see the gameplay, and they're
Mhm.
talking about, oh yes, we're using ray tracing. I'm like, I don't care. What kind of guns am I using in this game? Like, is it the same ratchet voice? Like all that. That was
That game looked great.
it looks great. And then I think this is a game that perhaps we are all excited about. I think it's called Deathloop.
Yes.
But to be clear, Deathloop is not a Sony exclusive.
True.
Oh, regardless.
This is the most we've
Whatnot.
seen of Deathloop, though.
Yeah,
to
for
date.
gameplay.
Yeah.
First of all, the premise of the game
It's
is
cool, bro.
It's amazing. like you are put in some world, whatever, where everybody else's enjoyment or whatever is just killing you. And that's what they're supposed to do. And every time they kill you, you start right back up all over again. And and as we were watching the reveal, I lost it when I heard a female voice say it's like, I don't like watching you die. I just like killing you, or something like that. And I'm just like, okay, well, I mean, I was saving quite a bit of money in this quarantine, so I guess it's going to be going somewhere. I loved that immensely.
Most
I was a
definitely.
little. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Sackboy Adventures, I believe it was, that looked
Mhm.
pretty nice too.
Doesn't do anything for me.
Doesn't do a thing for you.
But yeah, but like those were the big like, yes,
Yeah.
this this is what I needed. And back into Blue and Sigma's point, it was like, okay, games, boom, games, gameplay, there it is. Let's go. You wanted it, you got it. Now give us a price, Sony. Like,
Yeah, that's what everybody's
now
waiting on.
price.
There's a lot of
Microsoft
memes out there.
We'll get to that in a little bit. I still wanted to ask if there were any
Yeah.
other games that
Jeff, what games piqued your interest, sir?
I don't think this is an actual exclusive. I'm hoping not. Actually, no. I think I saw it on a PC. Mortal Shell was on the PC.
Yeah. Mortal Shell is not an exclusive.
Okay. That's all I got. I didn't catch the one you said I might like, which was like a first-person ninja, where it's kind of like with parkour. It's kind of like Mirror's Edge meets
that looks like Dishonored as well. I know.
Oh, wasn't that
I know what you're
Deathloop?
talking about. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I
we're
don't
gonna
like
have to
that.
revisit that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
was it
didn't
Returnal?
The art style in the trailer was different than.
Oh.
Was it Returnal?
No. Horizon
Okay.
Zero Dawn 2, though, that's one I could put out there for you.
Oh,
I'm super excited about that.
Returnal
First one was
really
amazing.
good, too.
It was beautiful.
Oh, my bad.
It was innovative. It was like when you first get on top of one of those long necks and just look down.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So I'm interested to see where the story goes after this one. So yeah, that's definitely on the top of my list. I'm gonna find the name of that other one, but yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any games that stood out to you, Blue?
Returnal it looked crazy. I'm definitely not gonna play it, but I need to watch somebody else play it. If you guys don't know me, I don't do horror.
Okay, that's what you were. Right.
Which one?
Ghostfire Tokyo.
Oh, Ghostfire,
And
yeah.
I would like because it reminded you of Bleach.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Ghostfire one. That one was that looked crazy too. That's one I really want to see. Ghostwire, excuse me. What I want to see you play, Jeff. But as far as I'll be honest with y'all. When I was watching this, it made me feel like, and I said this multiple times, and you guys probably heard it. I wish I was into that series because this looks great. For example, Oddworld. They got a new Oddworld game coming out. It looks intense. I feel like if I played the old ones and I loved it, this looks like a serious upgrade to Oddworld. I would love to play that if I
An introduction.
What's that?
It can introduce you to, this could be the first game of, first dates of many. I'm just saying.
It's possible. It's very
Maybe
possible.
don't
You're right.
judge. Maybe
You're
don't
right.
judge.
That's my whole goal here. We judge games and
That's
stuff.
what I do.
That's what I do. No, but yeah, the Spider-Verse looks great. That's one I was really interested.
What did you
in.
think about the Demon Souls remake? Because
I thought it was. No, I played the first one and returned it as soon as I could. Yeah, when I was younger, I did not understand that game. Yeah, when I was younger, I was like, oh, this game is extremely difficult. Let me just go buy Mario Kart or something else. But I mean, like I said, a lot of this stuff looks great. A lot of stuff, and I just want to see it in action. I want to see that price tag. And yeah, no, one of the things I really loved about it is that the presentation was so simple. It wasn't nobody trying to make jokes. It wasn't nobody trying to put on no special performance because that has nothing to do with gaming. They just said, hey, look, there's these really cool PlayStation graphics everywhere, and then you got someone talking about the game, and you got the game.
Put his foot in that.
Oh, bro, I don't.
that stuff looked really cool.
That looked amazing. I was mesmerized.
We actually went over a bunch of the stuff that I was probably the most excited for, like the Spider-Man offshoot. And honestly, I've never played a Ratchet and Clank game. Like, I don't care about their franchise, but I thought what they were doing with that tech in that demo was actually like really cool. Like the fact that apparently he's jumping through portals that instantaneously load entire new worlds.
Yeah.
Like that's like the backbone of like what Sony is toting as like the key feature of their specialized SSD. He showed the actual game running where he was doing a thing. He was on a planet. He jumped through the purple portal. He floated around.
And he's on a whole nother planet.
Yeah, like
fully loaded in right away.
Windows into like the different worlds he could go. He falls into one, and then he's just there.
There was no lag in between. There was choose a world now loading. None of that.
Yeah, and then that little teaser at the end where like the lady Lombax or whatnot shows up.
Yes.
Yo, I could see Gamer ready to correct you when you tried to say that. That's funny.
I'm sorry. Okay, okay. There are certain things that I get heated about. Okay, with Jeff, it's trolling. With Blue, it's customization.
I
With
love that.
Sigma, it's only watching things that have been finished.
Or
With
don't press
me,
the start button on Super Smash Sundays.
or don't press the start button on Super Smash Sundays because we tell you guys every single week.
But with you, it's Ratchet and Clank.
With me, it's Ratchet and Clank.
All right,
So I know
It's-
that had to really like hit you like right in the feels.
right in the
That's good to
feels.
know. That's good to know.
It hurt.
Ooh.
It hurt because everybody was like, oh my god, look, it's a female Lombax, and I didn't want to be that person, but I'm like, actually, there's already been one, but whatever.
Yeah, we'll save that for another show.
Yeah, yeah.
But so the tail end of the event,
Yeah,
the thing that we weren't sure they were gonna do, they finally did. They
it was a really good
revealed
reveal
the
too.
PS5.
It was a cool reveal.
Thoughts?
I do like the disc no disc option. I think that's
Yeah,
super
they did
cool.
reveal 2 SKUs, which was very surprising to me.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah,
So that's all digital, and they're asking about that in the chat.
yeah,
Do you
exactly.
all digital one, or would you prefer to have the physical option? Like, what do you guys think?
I'd probably
I
do
like to
the
have
all
option.
digital.
I do enjoy the option.
So here's my thing.
Mhm.
We know, from my understanding, the hard drive in Sony, the hard drive that's in the PlayStation 5 is custom. It's not like I can go out to Micro Center and replace it, right? I can't do that. That's the idea.
Were you ever able to do that though with a home console?
You just got to send it back. That's
well,
it.
no, like you could actually
You could
replace
get
it.
swapped out in like an Xbox and stuff.
Yeah, like you could, like in my PS3 and my PS4, you
Mhm.
just take the hard drive, reformat it in a computer, and then just put it in the system.
Wait, the
my
hard drive or the disk drive?
No, he's talking about the hard
Hard
drive.
I said the hard drive.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sony's SSD is their own special
Yeah.
concoction. So yeah,
So because it's their own special concoction, and I won't be able to just easily replace it like that, I'm thinking about just getting the physical and the digital. I mean, the one that does physical and digital. Because what if I want more space on that system? I can't go out and purchase the drive myself and just say, boom, I have 8 terabytes because I want it. I am limited by whatever special
Hard drives.
storage restrictions they put onto me.
Are they
So
pulling an
because of
Apple?
that-
a little bit. But to be honest, Sony has done stuff like this forever.
Oh yeah.
Like they've made like Sony loves their proprietary junk.
the
Look at the
so-
controllers.
PSP memory cards.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man, that
The-
was
the-
the
the
worst.
UMD discs.
Oh, that was
Yes,
the worst.
Yes, the UMDs. Yeah. Universal Media Discs. Oh no. And like, and yeah, the memory. Yeah. So, and it's because of that I'm going to want to have some physical. So I'm going to have to want to go physical because I'm not going to be able to expand my storage the way I can with my Xbox, PS3, and PS4. At least that's me.
To be
Hey.
fair, on that point, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, no, you're good. Good.
I was just gonna bring up the Xbox One. I'm sorry, the Xbox Series X, their next gen console, is gonna have a similar issue. Their SSD isn't something you can just buy off the shelf either. It's maybe less customized than Sony's is, but in order to add additional storage and for it to work properly, you're gonna have to buy a peripheral like from Microsoft that mirrors that same solid state drive tech.
Mm-hmm.
So that's similarly the only way you're going to be able to expand your storage for even the Series X. So they're kind of in the same boat there. It's just the prices for them might differ because Sony's going to have their own version and Microsoft's going to have their own version, and Sony's is a little harder to make, it seems.
Yeah.
The price is really going to be the deciding factor for so many people on this because the consoles are similar in performance, not the same, similar in performance, right?
Mhm.
And there's actually a lot of games you can get for either one. So, granted, and I'll say it again, Sony put their foot in this reveal. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff that I didn't even think about wanting to play that I definitely want to play now, and that made the possibility of me getting a PS5 in this house a lot stronger. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's gonna be the price, man. That's gonna see,
Okay,
yeah, that's gonna make it happen. What's up?
so let me ask.
Hmm.
You have the opportunity. We have seen the Xbox Series X reveal. We have
Yep.
seen the PS5
Yep.
reveal. If you could, and you have the opportunity, two games, you can get any two of the games, but you can only get one of the consoles right now, today. Which one are you getting? Are you getting an Xbox Series X or are you getting a PS5?
If
I'm
it's
getting a
today,
Series X because I want Halo
Halo,
Infinite
yeah.
and I want Senua's Sacrifice 2, Hellblade 2.
I'm getting PS5, bro.
I'm getting
I'm
a
getting
Series X.
I'm getting PS5 as well.
If I can
Wow,
get
even split.
Halo Infinite and Mortal Shell's coming out for all the consoles, and I'm good to go.
And here's now, and I'm gonna ask this all around, and I'm gonna give my answer really quick.
Okay.
The reason that I am going to get a PS5 is because with the way that Microsoft has their gaming infrastructure established, a lot of what they have I can play on my computer,
Mm-hmm.
True.
and a lot of and unfortunately, Microsoft does not have the variety of games that Sony has. They don't, and that really pulls me in. Like if they said, "Oh, hey, by the way, Ratchet and Clank is going to be on Xbox," we wouldn't be having this discussion.
Well, let's think about this. One thing we fail to remember is
Okay.
that launch that Xbox did, even though it was all trailers and whatnot, it was all new IPs. They didn't
Yeah,
show
and
you any of
third
the
parties at that.
yeah, they didn't show you any of the existing IPs that are going to be getting sequels or whatever coming out. Mind you, we notably missed Halo Infinite. We didn't see anything from it.
Yeah.
All these were new first-person IPs that they wanted to introduce, pretty much just to say, hey, you guys been biatching about no first-person, no first-party games. Here you go. Here's a whole slew of them.
And that's
Yeah.
coming.
And
Like, that's supposed to be
yeah,
their I conference is all their first
yes.
part stuff. What we saw
So, what did they say? Like 80 games?
from the first, I don't know about that.
No, just 80 games in general that they have planned for launch. But it was supposed to be like,
Yeah, I think they did say something like that for just
yeah,
in total. Yeah, but yeah, Microsoft is doing multiple small conferences every month until the Series X is released. Next month is supposed to be where they show you a lot of their first party stuff, and they did buy straight up outright buy multiple new studios. So there's a lot of first party games that we have not at all seen yet. That's still coming.
Yeah.
So this fight isn't really won.
It's
Like we
not
already
over.
knew Sony had like a big stable of first party games of very high quality.
Yeah.
The other thing that I want to take note of in terms of just the games is the only one that we know is coming anytime soon is Spider-Man. That's supposed to hit holiday 2020, which will likely mean it's a launch game because we still don't know when it launches. Everything else they showed, we don't know when those are coming.
yeah. It's
Very
like
true.
showing the Elder Scrolls 6 logo, and it's not coming out for 4 years. I'm just saying.
Like Metroid Prime 4 was shown by Nintendo like however long ago. They had to restart it. Who knows when that's coming? Like, but if you bought a Switch today, like that doesn't really help you get Metroid Prime yet.
I see what
So
you're saying. I guess and it comes back to the actual question that gamer asked was if we could have it today. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That's
Yeah.
that's the biggest difference. I feel you.
So to move on to the console specifically,
Yeah.
what do you guys think of the design? Because
I like it.
I found it. You like it? Okay.
I like it a
I
lot
found it to
actually.
I think
be
the design looks very, very cheap. It looks
cheap.
like,
Okay.
and what I mean by cheap is, it looks like something flashy you buy. It looks like I think I said it before. It looks like a Brita water filter or something. Like it just reminds me of like a dehumidifier or something. It's just
Yeah.
like
There have been memes all over the place of people using like their
Oh,
big stand-up
yeah.
fans and dehumidifiers because they all kind of look like it. Someone had like a black Linksys router with like two envelopes pressed against the side of it, and it looked weirdly close to the PS5. It
Yeah.
was hilarious.
it's like a little mini con, like a little mini transformer.
And speaking of that, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gamer.
What I was going to say was I love how stark the differences are between
Yes.
the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. Like that's what I love the most. Like I'm looking at the PS5 and I'm like, okay, so this is something that I would expect to see in like aperture science, something along those lines, or
It's essentially a portal turret.
Very futuristic.
something like that.
It's
Versus
talk to me in a computerized voice.
versus the Xbox Series X, very minimalist. We don't care about how we look. It's what's inside that matters. It's what's inside that really counts.
Okay.
And what I look at what the PS5 is like, I got that drip. I'm looking good.
Right? Got it. It looks like a jacket with the
Right,
collar
like,
popped up.
popped up and everything. Hey, that's what that's what I'm looking at. I like the sleek design though. I definitely do like that. I've seen people. I don't know if there is. Do we actually really know if there's going to be a Spider-Man version, or was that just people memeing?
No, that was the artist Boss Logic. He was making renders. So
Okay.
we haven't seen any other color variant other than the white and black with blue lights. So that's what it looks like as
let
far
me
as we know.
let me say something about that. That Miles Morales version. If that can be real, you put that right next to a Series X. So you got the black with the green and the black with the red. That'll look super dope next to each
Hey,
other.
well, let's talk about that then. The two consoles next to each other, because it was a thing that kind of no one really thought about in the moment. But
Yeah.
there was an article where a mechanical engineer or an artist or something basically wanted to compare the sizes, and apparently a USB port is visible on the front. So they compared the standard size of a USB port to give it the scale against pretty much all of the consoles. And the PS5 apparently is massive.
It's
It's
taller.
it's not only bigger than the Xbox Series X, which that kind of looks like it's big. That's actually a lot smaller than you think it is. But it's bigger than the original Xbox One, which was big as hell.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Yeah.
remember how big
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
I
regular
got one.
Xbox One?
I got one right there.
Yes. It's probably one of the biggest consoles ever made because they did
Yeah.
not want to repeat the heat sink issue. But the PS5 is bigger than that. How is that going to fit in anybody's entertainment center, especially if you want to stand it up?
True.
They'll make room.
Well,
They'll be like-
do you have a choice to not stand it up?
Well, yeah, I've seen pictures of it laying down, but again, it looks kind of weird.
It does
to be
look
honest.
awkward laying down. I
Like
can do
that curvature on it makes it, to me, honestly, like I like that the design is so far out, but honestly, I feel like
It's not practical on its
it's kind
side.
of gaudy. Yeah, it's not practical. It's not something that will blend in with like the rest of the stuff that because I buy every console eventually, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna have everything stacked up or next to each other somewhere, and the PS5 is gonna look like it doesn't belong. Like that's just me
Right.
personally. I'm not a fan of its look.
I think it's gonna be. I think it looks cool. I think it is a little bit too big, but um, I I was talking about the recoloration there. I did want to talk about some art I've been seeing of recoloration of the Series X. It is the super. It's the easiest thing to recolor the Series X because it's just a rectangular prism. What I'm saying? People just
Yeah, that's just
slapping
like
some
camo
stickers on.
patterns or something to make it interesting.
Yeah, and I saw some really cool stuff there. So I mean,
I want a clear one. I want a see-through one. I just want to see
that'd
the
be
inside.
cool. You
That
could
would
do
definitely
that.
be dope.
That
With
would
some
be
light?
dope. Yeah. You basically run the PC at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so any lingering thoughts on the PS5 event or the console itself?
Overall, I love the show. I loved it. It did
Yes.
exactly what it was supposed to do. Minus a couple information details that were pretty misleading. Outside of that, and that one skit with the brothers on the screen, I didn't like that. But other than that, we're good.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and find what that.
I want to hear what they
situation
have
was
to say.
So
Yeah.
last thing we have on our, well, actually, second to last thing we have on our list are 2 questions from our community. Thank you guys so much for writing us. If you want to also email us, like we said, you'll also need to do this if you want to enter that sweepstakes we talked about.
I was just about to bring that right back up. Real quick for
Email,
everybody.
oh,
Real quick for everybody listening, we are giving away some gift cards today. What we need you to do is email us at BBETGaming@gmail.com. Put in the subject line episode 50 live, and that will be your entrance. Make sure you also subscribe to the YouTube. Or
we're
if you want,
uneligible unless you are subscribe
Yeah,
to the YouTube specifically.
that's right. That's right. And yeah, we have a $50 gift card, a $20 gift card, and a $10 gift card. So, that being said, Sigma, let's go into our mailbag, which is where people
Okay.
normally send us messages that they want to hear us talk about on the podcast.
Right. So first up, this is a question from how are we gonna go with the term out here, Mrs. Blue.
Lady Blue, Lady Blue.
Blue, okay.
Yeah.
So this is from Lady Blue Desiree. She's been a big supporter of the show from the very beginning. She's also Blue's significant other, so that helps.
Love you, baby.
But she sent us this question some time ago, and I thought it was so good. And honestly, this is kind of what sparked the ambitious idea to kind of do a big event.
Real talk.
You're like, oh, this sounds like a good question to answer on like a bigger show.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where this was born from. But basically, she's asking, what's your favorite moment from a previous podcast? One that sticks out in your head specifically.
Now,
So for me,
go ahead.
It's actually gonna be a more recent episode. Is where we're talking about. Was it 5:15 for number one?
That's what Mr. Gamer was talking about. We were talking about food. The question came from Keeks, and she was saying, "What's your favorite snack or something that you can eat without consequences?" And then Mr. Gamer,
He was saying he remembers going into and how
White
much
Castle.
it was for number one.
Yeah.
So now every time I go into a place, I'm always looking to see how much number one is.
That was great. That's funny. Mr. Gamer, what you got?
Oh boy. Okay, so my favorite moment was actually it was going over. I was looking over all the highlights, and it was when Blue was talking about his joke Instagram
Oh
or
my
whatever,
gosh.
and then all of a sudden, all of a sudden, without missing a beat, like he was prepared for it. Like what is the DJ Wet Panty? And then it was just like record scratch. Like what? Where did you get that? Like completely derailed. That was hilarious. Like, I will say, for people who have been watching this from the very beginning, I'm fairly new, so I'm still getting used to how everyone works. And even at that time, I was not properly prepared for how you sometimes Jeff will just do something or say something you just don't expect, and he'll say it so smooth, it's like he's telling the truth.
And that's why you can't trust anything he says half the time.
Not true.
That's my favorite moment from a previous podcast.
That's funny.
Nice.
Sigma, you go
So
next, bro.
Yeah, I have a couple, but I think I'll probably just put it on when because there's a certain cadence, if you haven't realized, to how we go through all the sections of the show.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
we have a run a show on the side. Like I'm following kind of a routine to make sure that we're doing it right every single time. And every so often, my brain just has a hiccup, and I completely forgot how it was I started the show, only to find out that everybody else
Knew exactly.
completely burned in their memory exactly how I say and start every single show.
Yeah.
And honestly, I found that to be not only like hilarious,
Yeah.
but also cathartic, because it's like so awesome, because that's what I wanted. Like I wanted whoever was listening to feel, comfortable or at home, or to like feel some sense of familiarity with us and with
Most
the show that
definitely.
we do, and to know that even my co-hosts, are kind of into it in that way, like it's kind of reaffirming to me. So like that sticks out in my head as like, oh, awesome. So I feel like we're actually doing something cool, or we're doing something right.
Yeah.
And that's also in the one of the highlights that are in the year one video.
Oh yeah. Definitely check that out, yo. It's
I
magical.
love that so much.
Like even after that, like Gamer likes to like mock me as we start each show. Like he'll try to mime, if you catch it on the video version, he'll mime me actually doing the intro. So,
Okay, funny to me. Okay, as a voice actor, I will say I've got that pretty good. I have a good Sigma. I'm working on my Jeff, but I've got my Blue down pretty good. I think I think doing like put me in like Texas. maybe, or something like that, and then I could think I could do a pretty good Blue. I can't do it where people really know too much. What's your moment, Blue?
So what
Oh
do you have?
man. You know, it's been a long time, and there's so many moments where I'm just like crying, laughing from y'all, and just sitting here frustrated from y'all. You know what I mean? And
I know that's right.
and and
Yep.
and sitting here being frustrated at. You know what I mean? um, but I do have to say, oh my gosh, like I thought of like 4 or 5 different examples, but one of the funniest ones I gotta say is when we were playing a game, one of the
Oh God.
the quizzy quizzes. Well, no, it was it actually wasn't the quizzy quiz. We're gonna get to that in a little bit, but it was the 21 questions game, right? And first of all, just listening to the questions that you guys have. So if you guys don't know, right, I do a game where we take the roster from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and we play 21 questions. I normally give them like 7 questions
Like
between.
5 to 7, yeah.
Yeah, 5 to 7 questions between the whole squad. So I choose a character ahead of time. They have to ask yes or no questions, finding out who it is. Um, there's one time in particular. Now these guys are struggling with a lot of mine. One time in particular, I chose Olimar. I'm like, yo, nobody talks about Olimar. No one's gonna know about it. Da da da. No nothing. And Jeff's first guess. Now, granted, he didn't have no clues, no nothing. I think Sigma had asked one question before, and the answer was no, so he had nothing to do with that. And he's like, "Is it Olimar?" And I'm sitting here, and in my head, I'm just like, I should just lie right now on this podcast and say no, because I cannot believe he got it on the first try. I was in shock. But he got it. Yeah, it was really magical, if you will, because he was being such a troll earlier, and I was just like, oh yes, it is Olimar.
You ruined my game.
You ruined my game, you fiend. Um, but yeah, no, that was pretty fun. We've also had some behind the scene moments that have just been hilarious. To
Yeah, I
say
have
the
a
least.
couple that I could probably put into a whole different compilation of just behind the scenes. 'Cause I usually start recording before what you guys end up seeing and hearing on the proper
Oh
edited
yeah.
podcast.
Oh yeah.
So like, there's some stuff in there.
If you're
that
watching our Twitter too, you'll see some of them. Sigma caught me cussing one day. That one was funny.
let us know if you guys want to see that. And yeah, maybe I'll get
Yeah,
to work on making a second
you'll see the
compilation.
bloopers. But let's finish this up, huh?
So you actually want to skip that question and go straight into the game?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so Snitch360 asked us a bunch of questions, and we pulled one for today, but we're gonna leave that for later on. He's one of our most active members as well. Sends us tons of questions all the time. Really appreciate him. But we're gonna move on into our final event, which is our games and trivia. We'll remind you one more time that you can also win some stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead and
Entering
send
our
us that
giveaway.
email.
So just email bbetgaming@gmail.com with episode 50 live as your entry. Just need to make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube and you're good to go. We will pick a winner. You'll get a $50 gift card for the platform of your choice for place 1, 20 for place 2, 10 for place 3.
3, you got it.
So make sure you do that. No cost to enter. So just, enter. You have nothing to lose. But we're also going to play a game now. Basic trivia, bunch of questions put together by our secret 5th member, Chibs, the Penguin.
Yes, big shout out.
She curated all the questions. She helps us a lot in terms of just organizing and scheduling, stuff like that. So we really appreciate her. Couldn't do any of this stuff without her.
Real talk.
She messaged, first of all, we're on 2 separate teams, right? It's me and Gamer versus Blue and Jeff.
Yeah.
We each have 15 questions that we're going to ask the other team. And whoever reaches 5 first, I think.
I think we should do 3.
3? Whoever reaches 3 first,
yeah,
will basically be the winner. So if people get stumped, we have bonus questions. And if the chat ruins it, they will probably have to skip a question too. So chat, please try not to answer the question before we do.
But definitely get hyped when we get it right or wrong.
Right, yeah. Participate that way. And let us know if they do it or not beforehand as well. So how do you want to get started? Do you want to do a coin toss or
Chibs, are you there in the chat? We can have Chibs do a coin toss.
I got a dice.
Oh,
you got a dice?
Gamer has
Ooh.
so I guess
Wait, is it a D20?
No, it's a D6.
D6.
That's inaccurate.
We'll do even our
even.
odds. Just even our odds.
All right, so you guys, Blue, which one you want?
You know what?
Odds.
Yeah, we a little odd. We'll go odds.
Odds it is.
Yay, yay. All right, Jeff.
So
You got your list of
you guys
questions?
either can ask
So,
or
what'd you
get
send
asked
it to?
first.
It should be on the Facebook Messenger I sent you. I think I want to ask them question number 10. We're not going to go too easy, but I think it's a question number 10 is pretty good for these guys. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah, no, that looks good.
Okay. All right. So
I
question
have it.
number 10. So and it's going to be y'all's first question is
Mhm.
what was the first commercially successful video game? Is it A, Donkey Kong Country, B, Super Mario Brothers, C, Pong, or D, Cuphead?
Okay. Gamer, where's your head at?
And I guess we'll have Jeff start a timer.
I'm between B and C.
B and C being
B
Pong
was
and
Super Mario Brothers, and C was Pong.
I'm pretty sure it's Pong because
Yeah,
Pong
okay.
was released like in the 70s, right?
Yeah, Atari.
Right. Okay. So we're agreed on that.
Final
Yeah,
answer?
Yep.
Ding ding ding! It's Pong. They got it right. All right, one point to the blue team.
I don't know. you're the blue team. What doesn't make sense?
I've been changing.
Gamer, I'm looking at number 9. I think that's going to be very difficult, especially since it's not multiple
Wow.
choice.
What is not multiple choice?
There's only one answer on there.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
all right.
That's all we got.
Okay, dang, yo, we gave y'all an easy one. Go ahead.
So you're going
That's, yeah, well, it was either going to be because I was either thinking going to be, yeah. I was going to try to get number 10 at least, maybe, because they did give us an easy one.
All right, let's start with the easy one then. Sure.
Okay. Okay. So, what is the max level in Borderlands 3? A,
Oh,
81. B, 57. C, 65. D, 50.
Jeff, you know this, right?
Can you repeat that, please, sir?
I can. What is the max level in Borderlands 3? A, 81. B, 57. C, 65. D, 50.
I think it's 57.
57, sir.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, it's 57, right? Like I'm not
Yeah,
tripping.
It was 50, then it was 53, and then it went
Yeah.
up to 57. Yeah. That's final answer.
Bum 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 bum.
Is it 65 right now?
No.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
It's 57.
yeah.
Okay, like.
He was dragging it out.
Oh my goodness, man.
Oh, come on,
It
you
is
guys,
57, so-
let's see who wants to be a millionaire.
So we're tied right now, 1-1. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
How about number 6?
Number 6. Let's see.
And again, chat, just want to remind
That's
you, please
difficult.
don't throw out answers before we get them, please, because we
Okay.
can't see that, and we don't want to cheat. We want to do this on the up and up.
What about number 4?
I was gonna say. Oh, that's not a bad one. I like that one. I was gonna say either number 4 or number 8, but I'm down for 4 right now.
All right.
Go ahead, Jeff. You can ask this question.
So, which video game holds the record for having the highest budget ever to produce? A being Kingdom Hearts. B being Minecraft. C being the Pokemon series, and D being Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh wait, the game I was thinking of isn't even on the list.
Yeah. No, I think you and I were thinking of the same game.
What were y'all thinking about?
I was thinking of Destiny.
I was thinking of Red Dead.
Oh, well.
They said the highest budget to produce is the question, right?
Right.
Ever
I thought it was
produced,
Mario 2. Okay.
If they were throwing around that 500 million number for Destiny.
What
like
is it?
forever-
Oh yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, I'm Said GTA
Yeah.
5 is on there.
Yeah, GTA.
Kingdom Hearts is A, Minecraft is B, Pokemon series is C, and Grand Theft Auto 5 is D.
So some of them are like entire series, and then one is like just that particular game.
Hey
I guess it
man,
just, yeah.
Crap.
having the
Yeah.
highest budget ever to produce.
Highest budget ever.
I'm still leaning towards GTA 5, to be honest.
I'm gonna go with you on that one. Yeah.
All right, so that's our answer. GTA 5.
Yep.
That's wrong.
Actually,
That was incorrect.
go ahead, Jeff.
So what is the highest game?
That was going to be with B, Minecraft.
So Minecraft had the highest production budget.
Apparently, over Kingdom Hearts, Pokemon series, and GTA
I'm sorry,
5.
That doesn't. I don't know if that checks out.
I think that's what our list says. We'll double check in a little bit, but right now,
Let's put an asterisk on that one right now.
we'll put an asterisk on that one. 1-1, and we'll get the numbers for y'all in just a little bit.
You can miss either.
What I think my guess on that one would have been the Pokemon series, to be honest, just because of how long it's been going on. Excuse me.
I mean, I think Minecraft broke a record in terms of being purchased.
Yeah.
Like it might be the biggest like buy of a franchise because Microsoft bought it from bought out Mojang for like several $billions or something.
Yeah.
In terms of producing the game, as in creating the game, like Minecraft was like a early access thing forever from like one guy. Like that's not a. It doesn't make sense.
Okay,
sorry.
we'll figure it out. We won't give you all
All right,
that
so
one.
y'all give us a BS question. I think we hit him with the hard one.
Dang.
Personal.
We didn't make
Yeah,
these up, by the way, y'all. Here we go.
Yeah. Hit him with a signal.
This is question number 9 for us.
Ooh.
Which 7th generation handheld gaming console was released in North America on the 24th of March 2005? This is not multiple choice. Just know that you have to
Y'all,
pick
okay.
handheld.
We're never giving y'all a multiple choice ever again. Because
Hey, wait. Blue,
See?
you just said we didn't write the questions?
See,
You just-
Blue,
Yeah, we have nothing for the questions.
hey,
We're just
Blue
picking.
pulled me back. Blue, my first
Yeah, he
question, he was
did.
like, "That's too hard."
yeah. Okay. All right.
Like,
What was the year again? Can you use it in the form of a question?
Real talk. Didn't feel like one.
Okay, yeah, no, he needs this. He needs this in Jeff. You need this in game show form. I got it. And March 24th, 2005, this 7th generation handheld gaming console was released.
7th generation.
Handheld gaming console.
I'm gonna give.
It's got to be some kind of Game Boy. You said 2005?
Yep. March 24th.
We are in generation 8, so that would have been the last generation.
You talking about the DS?
Is that your answer?
No, I'm
Wasn't
asking Jeff.
3DS 7th generation?
I thought, yeah, 3DS. I think that's gonna be our that's gonna be.
Yeah,
our
I'm
shot.
okay with 3DS.
Yeah, let's go for that.
All right,
Yeah.
final answer.
Yep.
Bum bum bum.
It was the Vita.
Nah, it can't be
Very
the
close,
Vita.
though. PSP.
That was
That
the
was
7th
7th
generation?
Yeah, that launched opposite the 3DS.
Yep.
They
Because that's how
re-released
long
the
that's how
PSP.
long- yeah, that's how long the lifespan of the 3DS was. Remember?
But wait, the PSP is a 7th generation console?
I mean, that's what it says here. So again, I didn't write the questions.
Good one.
3DS was
I
way after
think-
2005. Thank you, lady. Man, see, yeah, we got to get up on this, Jeff.
Yeah. I think we should go for that first one we backed out on.
Go ahead.
Oh, boy. All right, here we go.
Where
What
are
was
we?
that?
Oh, so how many overworlds are there in Cuphead?
Oh crap!
Um,
Not even played that.
and we're even being nice. Here's the multiple choices for you, buddy. So A will be 3,
I never played it.
B will be 8, C will be 4, and 5 will be D.
Gamer, do you have any idea? Have you played Cuphead?
Cuphead. How many overworlds are in Cuphead?
I know how. I have a rough idea. I'm like walking the map in my head.
Okay.
Going it through. Okay, what were the options? What are my choices?
3, 8, 4, and 5.
4.
You
Final
said
answer.
4?
Yeah, 4. Final answer.
4
Ding,
it
ding,
is.
ding. He got
Yeah. Good
it.
stuff. Gamer, all right.
Good
We won't be as
stuff.
harsh, but I do think this is kind of hard. What do you think of 8, Gamer?
Send it to me. Let me see.
No, yeah, that one's good.
All right. So, number 8. How many Smash Bros. Games are there? And this does have multiple choice. So, A is 6. B is 9. C is 4. D is 5.
I'm right off the bat. I'm pretty sure it's 5 because I always hear Casey talking about it's Smash 4. I did this. It's Smash 4. I did that, and I know that's the last
Well,
one,
I
right?
don't sound like that.
Wait,
That's exactly what he sounds like.
Oh, that's exactly how you say it.
You got Smash Brothers. You got Brawl. You got Melee. You got Ultimate. Right? That's 4, but there's probably another one somewhere that I missed. Because why would Sigma call it Smash
Melee,
4 if we
Brawl,
playing Ultimate?
4, and Ultimate, right?
Hmm?
Was 4 a standalone series?
Brawl, right? There's Brawl, Melee, the regular one, and
4.
Ultimate. I can't remember. I can't remember a 5th one. I'm not gonna lie. But the fact that he keeps saying Smash 4 makes me think that there's not just 4.
All right. I mean, yeah. All right. 5.
I can't think of a 5th one too. I'm not gonna lie.
So you guys are going 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
Incorrect. It is
I knew it
4.
was 4.
The answer is 6.
6.
Wait, you
Yeah.
counting GameCube versions? I mean,
That's Melee.
3DS.
Oh
Smash
shoot,
4 Wii U,
3DS.
Smash 4 3DS.
Those
Oh.
wait, but those are both Brawl, aren't they?
No. Those are after Brawl, first of all. But they
Oh.
are 2 separate games. Like, they have different stages. They have the same rosters, but they both have different stages and different game modes for the single player. So they are different games.
Yeah. Alright, so,
Okay,
yeah,
we got that
yeah,
wrong.
Yep, Super Smash on the N64, Melee on the GameCube,
Yep.
Brawl on the Wii,
Wii.
then
The-
Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS, and then a completely different version on the Wii U, and
Mhm.
then Ultimate.
Man,
So that's it.
that's frustrating. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Good job, y'all. Match point.
All right, so if you get this.
Whew, all right, let's get
Yeah,
one of the big
yeah,
ones.
All we
Yeah.
gotta do. It's all we gotta do.
Okay, hold on.
What you got?
We're gonna get y'all some good ones right here. No, that's true or false. You ain't getting that one. Y'all think this is a game? I'm gonna do 8, Jeff.
Are we doing a nice friendly game?
I'm gonna do number 8, Jeff. What you think?
It's gonna be easy.
You think so? I think this is one of the harder ones on our list because a lot of these are
Okay,
pretty
go
easy.
for that one. Go for that one.
Okay. What is the first console to have an analog stick with 3D graphics? There's no multiple choice on this.
There's no multiple choice.
No.
Gamer, I'm pretty sure it's the N64 because Nintendo pretty much built Mario 64 around their analog stick controller, and I think they had the patents for it and everything. Everyone copied analogs after that. Like the PlayStation 1 even launched.
Okay.
With
Is that your
a
final
really-
answer? Is that your final answer?
I want gamers confirmation. If he's thinking of anything else to pull me off of that, because that's where my head is right now.
I'm literally going in order right now. Consoles like
First with
Cat in the
first
chat
with
knows
analog
she's
stick
mad hyped about this.
and 3D graphics.
yeah.
You do it. That's your final answer.
Okay, read the question one more time.
This is for the win. This is for the win. What was the first console to have an analog stick and 3D graphics?
The first console.
I thought this was an easy one.
So we know that was before the PS1.
Timer's winding down, buddy.
Because they didn't have their DualShock
Yeah.
with the analog until the 64 came out.
Yep. So N64. Yeah.
N64.
Yep.
Ding, ding, ding. Good job. You guys win.
All
It was too easy just because I know Sigma.
I know where his mind was gonna go. As soon as you mentioned analog stick.
Yeah, you were like you said analog stick, and like because first you said which the first console to have an analog stick, and I'm like Atari. Wait, 3D graphics. Okay,
Yeah.
N64.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then I'll like read the question over because I like you said console, so not like an arcade machine like Virtua
Right.
Fighter or anything
Yeah.
like that.
right. Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, so
All
we have our
right.
winners, it's me and Gamer. Thanks so much, Chance, for putting those questions together.
Yes,
Thanks
thank
a
you,
lot,
Chips
chat, for
Penguin.
not spoiling the answers. I know some of y'all knew them.
But we saw the hype in the chat. We appreciate that. You know what I mean?
For real.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to play games like this, jump into our Discord. The link has been popping up out there. Like, we can start doing weird stuff like this where we just throw questions and maybe have prizes or whatever in the future. So join the
Yeah.
Discord and you'll be able to interact with us on a regular basis.
100%.
But that brings us to the end of our 50th show. We're going to do our sign-offs.
Yeah.
Jeff, where can people find you if they're looking for you on the internet?
So when you are looking for me, you can find me at Superman Jeff 12. That's on Twitter. That's on Facebook. That's on Instagram. That's on Mixer. That's on anywhere you're gonna look. That's where you're gonna find me at.
Nice. Mr. Gamer, what about you?
You can find me at startbuttonreview.com. That's start button like on the controller, right, Blue?
Yep, that's right. Start button.
That should have been my favorite moment. That right there should have been my favorite moment. No. Okay, I just said real quick.
All right.
I first got onto this, and for like the first 3 weeks of doing the podcast, it was all right. There it is, Mr. Gamer of the smash button. No, start button review.
Changing the name constantly. He wouldn't let it go.
Okay, but yeah, so SBR, Mr. Gamer, that's SBR MRGAMER. And I also just made sure that I'm also on Twitch. I forgot about that. So
Yeah.
I'm also SBR Mr. Gamer, Mr. _Gamer. So yeah, hit me up. Your soon to be favorite voice actor.
There you go.
Nice. Blue, how about you?
It's your boy Blue Bones BLUB0NES. You already know me. Guys, come check out our podcast on a regular basis. We love doing this live when it works, obviously. It's a lot of fun. But yo, we really got y'all week to week on not just up to date news on all of the events coming up and stuff like that. And we put on our own events too. So I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. Come through, hit that follow button, subscribe, all that stuff. Thank you guys so much for coming out to our 50th episode. It's been a lot of work getting to this point.
Boy.
A lot. As you saw, some of it was going out this morning.
Work a bit.
But we're here, and I'm so. Lady saying she's new to the show. You really enjoyed it. I appreciate that.
Love to hear that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. As you can see on the YouTube, we got little playlists, so you can even catch up on the old episodes if you want, or just start from today. That's super cool too. I see some people joining the Discord. That's where you see us talk on a regular basis when we're just playing games casually, or we want to practice something, different things like that. So thank you guys.
Wanna, give Blue a hard time.
If you want to give me a hard time, what I'm saying, just be Jeff. But
Or be
no.
generic.
Yeah, just don't come in with no default characters. Anyway, that's that. You can find me at Blue Bones, as you see at the top of the screen, on all social media, and all my gaming platforms too. Yeah, but one of the mans with the plan that brings a lot of this together with a whole bunch of work and dedication and artistry, Mr. Sigma Gears 9. You see him right below me. Somebody tell Sigma, can you tell us where we can find him? Yeah, let's give him a little hand. Where can we find you on social media?
Thank you
bro?
guys. Thank you so much. You can find me on pretty much all social media at Sigma Gears 9. You can find me on Facebook at Sigma and Son. You can find my 3-minute reviews as well as opinion pieces and live streams that I also do with Escapist Magazine on Escapist Magazine's YouTube and their website and Twitch as well. Just this past weekend, I've been participating in their indie games showcase.
It's really cool.
After this, probably like another 2 hours or so, I'm gonna be back on stream with Escapist Magazine talking to devs about a bunch of new indie games that are coming out. So either check that out or stay here and check out Super Smash Sunday, which is still happening later in the afternoon.
Mhm.
We won't judge you for picking one over the other. You can watch both. I say watch both. So you have that option.
Yeah.
just want to shout out to my 3 co-hosts. None of this is possible without these guys sticking to this formula and, showing up every week when they can and, kind of just participating. Like it does take a ton of work, and I'm very grateful to have a team that's willing, to put in the effort.
Yeah, man.
As you can see earlier today, like a lot of what was planned kind of fell through the cracks. I hope you guys did enjoy that intro stuff because there was supposed to be some outro stuff that we can't do now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I'll try and edit together the version that this was supposed to be and post that to the YouTube after the fact. So keep a lookout for that. Thanks everybody for watching. We really, really appreciate this. We love you guys so much. We're trying to get, now that we finally reached 100 on the YouTube, trying to get to 1,000.
Yeah.
Share this with
Let's
your friends.
go.
Let them know that we're here. Because
Most
once it's at
definitely.
1,000, we can monetize. We can start making some bank off of this and start really upping the production level. Because we're all
Maybe
doing
also
this
really
pro bono
good.
right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is
Mhm.
all in our free time. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work, and it does take a little bit out of you if you can't really see the fruits of your labor coming back.
Yeah.
But had a ton of fun. Be sure to email us again for that giveaway, bbetgaming@gmail.com. Just make sure you're subscribed, and in the subject line, write episode 50 live, and we'll announce winners probably at some point in the future. So that's going to do it for episode 50 of the BBET Gamescast.
Yay.
Thanks, everybody, once again. Peace.
Deuces, y'all.